okay, wait till you're ready. Rafinha is now out to the latter stages. They're keeping him there to see if he's ready for the late stages of the tournament. Lamine Yamal come off because I played longer. You've had a niggle before the tournament. Let's take you off. It's all about managing the squad in a World Cup that's so long.
Yeah. Would you say out of the three, out of Rice, Bellingham and Kane, Rice is third on that list for most important players? I know that sounds wrong because he's so important to England, but would you rather lose him or Bellingham or him or Kane?
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think like Bellingham is that guy who's gonna get those important.
talkSPORT Sports Update, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Good afternoon, I'm Tony Gillis. So this report, Thomas Tuchel might make as many as 3 changes for Ghana tonight. Does he not know his best England team? The likes of Rashford, Gueye and even Jed Spence are being suggested as potential starters. Stuart Pearce thinks only Gueye should come in, and any more suggest Tuchel is still experimenting.
You put your strongest team out for the first 2 games, you hopefully put 6 points on the board, you're through, and then you've got a mindset for the Panama game, but beyond that as well in the knockout situations.
Whoever he selects, Tuchel is not taking Ghana lightly.
We play in a very difficult group, and one of the most difficult groups in the tournament. And when I analyze the matches, see the individual quality of Ghana, then I feel that it proves me right.
England-Ghana, with no major concerns at this stage about thunderstorms in Boston, is live on talkSPORT this evening. All the build-up starts in 3 hours' time. The antidote to the Gannon Doak from the start shout from so many Scotland fans is in, and it's coming from talkSPORT's ex-Scotland striker Mark McGee, who's been responding to calls from the likes of Ali McCoist to get the Bournemouth man in against Brazil from the start.
You know, he's a player in these temperatures where, you know, he is going to run out of energy, you know. So is the early part of the game the important part, the best part of the game for him to be playing?
You won't miss a kick of Scotland-Brazil tomorrow at 11 either. Just stick with talkSPORT. And 8 days on from his concerned and worried presser about Ben Stokes, Brendan McCullum has refused to reveal his reasons for that message.
Private conversations remain private, and I think there's an element of confidentiality there and the respect of our relationship. My assessment was I was slightly concerned, worried. Now my assessment is that he looks great and he's ready to go.
Stokes is back to play for England in the 3rd test with New Zealand, which begins on Thursday.
talkSPORT News.
Schools are set to close or finish early over the next couple of days as temperatures continue to soar. And the UK's biggest rail operator says don't travel tomorrow unless absolutely necessary. Sinead has more at past.
talkSPORT Weather, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
Clearing just the lightest of winds this evening and into tonight, staying widely warm, especially in the south where it'll be uncomfortable for sleep again. Hello.
World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent, live from the Dial, the home of Meantime. Coming up today, we're going to look back on another phenomenal performance from Lionel Messi as he becomes the greatest World Cup goal scorer of all time. We're also going to look back on another great night for Erling Haaland and for Kylian Mbappe. But it has begged the question, who is going to win the Golden Boot? We're also going to be asking whether Cristiano Ronaldo should start for Portugal this evening against Uzbekistan. That game is, of course, live on talkSPORT 2. And we are here at the Dial in the build-up to England versus Ghana tonight from 9 o'clock. All of that, plus we've got some special guests joining us here in the pub. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live, and you can get involved. 03717 22 33 44. How are you, Darren Ben?
Yeah, I'm good. very good. So I just popped up on the top of my phone, which I'm sure Joe's aware of in terms of a new manager. But yeah, I'm good. Obviously loving the World Cup action. Sitting in this green room, lovely bar called the Dial in Greenwich.
Yeah.
Brings back fond memories. Obviously spent a lot of time here back in 2005 when I was at Charlton, which is just about a mile down the road.
Oh, of course, this would have been your neck of the woods.
Yeah, it
wouldn't
was. Yeah. So yeah, it brings back real fond memories. But my goodness, am I hot?
Yeah. Do you know what I've got to concede to you right away?
Go on.
You called something at the very beginning of this tournament, and you've been proved spot on.
Go on.
You told me that Kylian Mbappe, when the World Cup starts, is a completely different beast, almost unrivaled, almost incomparable to the man that you think he is going into the tournament. The second that the referee blows a whistle and his World Cup starts, he was going to burst into life, and you were absolutely spot
Told
on.
you, World Cup Kylian Mbappe is just a different animal, and I'm talking about different animal pace, the variety of goal that he's scoring, the responsibility, playing with that freedom. But it's been some really good World Cup performances, but the Golden Boot race is fascinating.
I know.
Because all the big dogs are just there.
I know, they've really turned up.
Yeah.
It's great, isn't it, this World Cup, because they really have turned up. Now, though, what we have to do is look ahead, because England are going to try and book our place in the World Cup knockouts when we face Ghana tonight. And, of course, it's live right here on talkSPORT.
Saka will take over after the last touch from Rodgers. In he comes from Rashford, keeping his feet and winning the game for England. England off to a winning start in the World Cup. 4-2 England.
Hit 4 goals, could have got more. The first game of any tournament, you take all the positive.
This is actually the first World Cup win for England against a side ranked inside the top 15 in the FIFA rankings since 2002.
Of course, everyone knows that we were not at our best level, so there's more to come. We have to improve.
This team in that second half just looked like a team that were just freed up.
I'm really convinced of Tuchel. He knows how to win trophies, so he knows how to win a tournament.
I felt the spirit and what it means to be part of a World Cup.
Ghana will show up because whoever plays against England, it's almost like it's their cup final.
And now Brandon Thomas Asante. It's a tight angle, but it's been converted by Caleb Yurichi. It's Ghana 1, Panama 0.
What a buzz it is listening to that. And England can secure our place in the last 32 of the World Cup when we face Ghana live on talkSPORT tonight. It's a 9 p.m. kickoff with all the build-up starting with Adrian Durham when we're done here at 7 p.m. But before we get stuck into tonight's game, Benty, I need to have a word with you. There's some breaking news that we have just received. Ipswich have announced that Gary O'Neill is their new manager. The 43-year-old will take over on a 3-year deal. Do you think this is the right move?
Yeah, he was my first choice, Gary O'Neill. I just think he's the profile. He's obviously turned down bigger jobs than this one, but just the profile fits. I think about McKenna and the journey that he's been on since he's been at Ipswich. I think Gary O'Neill, good coach, did really well at Wolves, then did really well at Bournemouth. Was probably a little bit unlucky to lose his job at Bournemouth, but Andoni Areola comes in and you can understand why. But it's an opportunity for him, and I'm excited for Ipswich because I think he's a really good coach. I think he's got the younger profile, fresh ideas, and it's not too dissimilar from Kieran McKenna.
Yeah.
So I think it'll work really, really well. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. Be very interesting to see how Kieran McKenna does. He is the new manager of Ipswich, and he's taken over at Ipswich Town on a 3-year deal. Now, though, we obviously have to get back to England. We take on Ghana tonight, live on talkSPORT at 9 p.m. What do you reckon here, Benty? Do you think that Thomas Tuchel should be making some changes from the side that beat Croatia?
I mean, the only one for me straight away was Mark Gahey, but he should have started the first game for me. I thought the season that he's had for Manchester City and Crystal Palace, I thought he was outstanding. Rashford and Gordon's maybe one you might look at after the impact Rashford had when he first came on, but definitely if you're going to start with one, Mark Gahey. I think his performances this season have been absolutely phenomenal. He's gone to Man City, he's won 2 trophies. He's been incredible. For me, it was always going into this tournament, Mark Gahey and one other. The fact he completely missed out in the first game was a shock to me. But I think you could see in that first half how much they miss him.
Yeah.
So 100% I would go Mark Gahey.
Yeah, I do agree with you. I think Gahey needs to be in the side. We're a better team. He's England's best centre-half.
I think so.
I think Gahey is England's best centre-half.
Konsa this season has been incredible as well.
Yeah.
The fact that people are questioning him, I mean, look what he's done for Aston Villa. They've won their first major trophy in I don't know how long.
Yeah.
And he's been top drawer as well. So for me personally, starting would have been Konsa and Gahey.
So is that what you do tonight?
Yeah. They would have started the tournament with
it. Very, very interesting to see what Thomas Tuchel decides to do. Right, though, let's now hear from former Premier League striker Troy Deeney, who joined the Sun Sports Proper Football Daily Show this week. He thinks he's pinpointed the weakness in this England side.
I think defensively we're pretty poor. I've said it before, and apparently I got a little bit of stick on socials. My opinion, and happy to say at the end of it, I'm wrong if we win it. I can't see us winning the World Cup where you've got Jordan Pickford in goal. I just can't. he scares the life out of me every time he has the ball at his feet. I'm like, go on, pass it now. No, pass it now. Now, oh, pass it, and then he gets a foul.
Yeah.
Just doesn't make me feel calm and collected out, an Alisson does for Brazil, for example.
This is interesting here, Darren, because listening to Troy Deeney flag Jordan Pickford as a problem for England, I feel like I could make a list of 15 problems for England and Jordan Pickford wouldn't have been mentioned. Where do you sit on this? Do you think Troy's onto something?
No, I mean, I think Pickford for England's been incredible. In my opinion, certainly in my generation, he's probably been England's best goalkeeper and most consistent. I understand it with the first game, because the first game he made me nervous with the ball at his feet, kept giving it away, or then he was like stretching to clear it. But I mean, Troy's compared him to Alisson. Alisson's one of the greatest goalkeepers on the planet, one of the greatest Premier League goalkeepers of all time. So it's a little bit unfair to kind of compare him to him, but I don't think Pickford would be the reason. I think if we don't win the World Cup this year, it's because we simply haven't been good enough.
Yeah.
I think it's unfair to kind of say, if we don't win it, it's Pickford's fault. Because I think he's been brilliant for England. No one's ever questioned him before. We've got all the makeup in terms of defensively, going forward, the striker. We've got everything set. If we don't win the World Cup, it won't just be Pickford's fault unless he does a clanger and drops it. I think consistently for England, since he got that #1 jersey, he's been incredible.
Yeah, but even so, Darren, like say you do think that Pickford's a problem, there's no real solution to it. Like you flagged potential changes. I think that if you don't think that Anthony Gordon was good enough, you can rationalise bringing in Marcus Rashford.
Of course.
If you don't think, or if you think Tuchel in fact made a mistake with both centre halves, John Stones was at fault for one of the goals. Konza didn't cover himself in glory for another one of the goals. I think you can easily say we can elevate our back line by bringing in Mark Gahey.
Yeah.
If you think Pickford's the problem, it's almost unsolvable, because you can't start playing with the goalkeeper now at a tournament, can you?
That's the problem you've got, is that to drop Pickford now and put a goalkeeper in when you've had him for the last, I can't even remember how many major tournaments, that is a big problem, because there's no chemistry between whoever comes in, whether it be Henderson or Trafford, whoever it may be. There's no chemistry between him and in the back line, whereas Pickford's been, you always know he's there. So I just think for me now, Pickford, he won't be the problem, again, and I stress it, unless it's a clanger and he drops it in his own net. He won't be the reason why England don't win the World Cup. They won't win the World Cup because simply they haven't been good enough as a collective, as opposed to individually.
Yeah, I agree. Troy Deeney has basically said that England won't win it. He can't see England winning any major silverware with Jordan Pickford as our #1.
But that's just an easy thing to throw, like a throwaway comment, because every goalkeeper since '66 could be the reason, because we haven't won anything since '66. So it's a little bit unfair to go, it'll be the reason.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, but I'm very interested to hear what you think about this. 03717 223344. We really do want your thoughts on all of this. Does Thomas Tuchel need to change anything tonight? Send us a WhatsApp voice note, 03717 223344. We're going to play out a load of them later on in the show. Next up, we're going to be looking back on another magnificent night for the main man, Leo Messi. You're listening to World Cup Game Day live from the Dial, the home of Meantime, right next door to the O2.
Can tell me a little bit more about training though, because you know we're not privy to that much open training. We got 15 minutes yesterday at very close quarters. You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Because there was a moment where Thomas was walking around. He's a meticulous planner. He demands standards, and he said, "Jed, do better."
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, I think it's normal. He's a great manager, and he wants the best from his players. And, he demands high standards. And, for this tournament, we need to be ready. We need to be on it. So I think every session needs to be of the highest quality. And that's what he demands. And it's good.
But when you hear that,
yeah.
and obviously you're in front of all of us as well, what does it make you immediately do? Oh, God, I didn't think I was on it. What's the feeling?
No feeling, really. I wouldn't be the only one he says it to. It's everyone else, so it's no feeling. It's just a part of the game. If he needs me to do whatever, I'll do it. So it's just part of the game, really.
And what is he like behind the scenes. And what's he like as a manager?
Yeah, I think he's a great manager. He's a great guy. Very, very detailed in what he wants to do, and yeah, I think the boys really love him and have a great respect for him.
And where does that come from? Because we watch him on the training pitch. I get to speak to him regularly, and he loves you all as players. There's something in that, isn't there, of what he gives you and then what you give him back.
Give back. Yeah, I think it's like what he always says. We're building a family here, and we've built a family, and we built a brotherhood within the team, and everyone's all got one dream, one brain. So yeah, I think if everyone's on the same path, we can do special things, and I think he's built that environment in the squad.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
A blow shoots up through the stony ground. There's no room.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day Live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app. We're coming to you live from the Dial in Greenwich, the home of Meantime. talkSPORT has teamed up with Meantime to create a lager for the World Cup, So Good Lager. As well as being poured from this very venue, it will be available in some of the best sports pubs across the UK. You can find your nearest pub by visiting our website. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. Still to come, we're going to be joined to champions Arsenal, and Marcus Rashford could take a pay cut to join Tottenham Hotspur. Darren Bent.
Where's that come from? I don't know why. In my head, when you said about Rashford, I expected Arsenal to come out your mouth. When you said Spurs, I went, what?
Yeah.
Where's that come from?
I'm very surprised that a club like Tottenham would satisfy Marcus Rashford with his personal ambition.
Honestly, the way they're building at the minute, if they get Tonali in with another one, we should talk about that. I think that could be nearly done. And Rashford, all of a sudden, I was saying top 10. You've got to start going European aspirations, because overnight they're completely rebuilding this team, and he did a great job. You have to say there, the manager, De Zerbi, if he gets his team together, which he's trying to build, and they add Rashford to that as well. Woo.
Yeah, be a really good sign. And what about Morgan Rogers potentially going to Arsenal? Arsenal, already the best team in the country.
Thank you.
Already have some of the most exciting attacking players, the likes of Eberechi Eze, Bukayo Saka. If they were to add Morgan Rogers to that, how strong does that make their challenge to retain a league next year?
I love Morgan Rogers, and I think he's top right. I'm not quite sure he'd have been the first I would have gone after, because as you said there, in terms of that kind of profile of player, you've got Odegaard, you've got Eze, right? That kind of 10-ish type player. Yeah. I think you need an out-and-out wide left player. That would have been my first protocol, which is why I thought you would have said Rashford, because he would be my number one choice first, because I know he's an out-and-out left winger. With Rogers, I know he can play out there, but I want someone who does play out there. Does that make sense? Like, I've never turned my nose up at Morgan Rogers. He's top. But I'd rather Arsenal sign a recognised left winger as opposed to someone that can play out there.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but do you know why I think it would be such a good signing for Arsenal? Just because of the statement that it makes.
Yeah.
Morgan Rogers is one of the better players at Aston Villa. He's in the England side. And it would be such a statement from Arsenal to use their might as Premier League champions to just go out and pluck the best from rivals.
Do you know what I'd rather Barcola. Did you see him when he come on yesterday?
He's rapid, he's so fast.
His turn of pace. Yeah. That if I had a choice to sign someone, it'd be Bradley Barcola first, then Rashford, and then I would then aim for Morgan Rogers, because then he's a very good player. But I think they need to address that left side first.
Yeah, and I'm sure he will. But it's certainly possible that Morgan Rogers will end up at Arsenal, and Marcus Rashford is open to taking a pay cut at Tottenham Hotspur. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to round up the latest World Cup action on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Daily Tournament Roundup on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
And there's only one man to talk about right now, and that man is Lionel Messi. He scored his 17th and 18th World Cup goals, taking over Miroslav Klose as the top goal scorer in the competition's history, as Argentina beat Austria 2-0 last night. That's 5 goals. 5 goals for Lionel Messi in just 2 games at this year's tournament. Former England captain Stuart Pearce joined talkSPORT after the game, and he was full of praise.
Absolutely amazing individual. I think football needs a story, and this story, I thought 4 years ago the story was Messi driving Argentina to win the World Cup. All of a sudden, we're 4 years down the line, he's 4 years older, and he's delivering another story now. 5 goals in this amount of games is quite incredible.
It's actually amazing, isn't it? Stuart Pearce has hit the nail on the head there, Darren. He said that 4 years ago, the story was Lionel Messi driving Argentina to a World Cup. 4 years later, at the age of 39, the story could easily be Lionel Messi driving Argentina to retaining a World Cup. Like, it's unbelievable. Do you think now, is Lionel Messi still the best footballer in the world?
Yeah, his brain still is a lot quicker than anyone else's. But do you know what's really refreshing to see? And now, I get it, people are comparing the Ronaldo-Messi aspect to it, right?
It's over, isn't it?
Right. Well, it was over for me a long time ago. But it's quite clear to see that Argentina players are doing everything they can for Messi.
Yeah.
Right, in terms of whenever they get the ball, even when there's opportunities where they could pass, shoot themselves, they're trying to find Messi, because there's almost this love for him, right? Which you don't see with the Portugal side with Ronaldo, which I don't know why that is, I don't know. But for Lionel Messi, the way he's gone about his business, I mean, listen, I've got no Argentinian in me, but I'm even willing him to score goals, because he's just, for me, he's the greatest player to ever live. But just the manner in which he's scoring these goals as well. And he could have had another hat-trick with the penalty. I mean, I don't really like the started run-up, even for the greatest player of all time. But he looks hungry, he looks fit. And it also looks to me like, even though he's been playing in the MLS, which some people may say is maybe a level down in terms of the intensity, he looks fit, he looks hungry, and he just looks like he's enjoying what he's doing.
Yeah. No, he's unbelievable. He's actually unrivaled. I think, over the years when we've been like awarding Ballon d'Ors, realistically, if Lionel Messi was playing football, I think he should have won it every year.
Well, now, do you know what? There were a couple of years you'd have to say Ronaldo was top. Like there were a few years where Ronaldo was like, in terms of the goals and the Champions League, he had to win it. But I think for Messi, and I think the manager deserves a lot of credit for this, because he's putting Messi in scenarios, certainly out of possession, where he hasn't got to do too much kind of defensive work. He almost just walks back. But what he does, he almost drifts into certain areas. So he won't sprint around or anything. He'll just walk back into that area, and he'll be like he's not interested. And the moment they win it, is like, where is he? He's available, bang, straight into his feet. But his range of passing and his brain and his finishing and his touch is still as good as it was 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's actually masterful, isn't he? Like, we're quite privileged to be watching this. Like, what we are witnessing is genuine greatness.
Yeah.
Like, he is undoubtedly one of the best, if not the best, to have ever done it. In that conversation, I'm talking now, let's go Pele, let's go Maradona, let's go Van Basten, let's go wherever you want to go, Darren.
Yeah.
Is Lionel Messi the best to have ever played the game?
Yeah, in my opinion, he's the greatest player to ever live. There's things he can do with football, what he's still doing at this age as well. The variety of goals that he scored as well. He's won the World Cup, which was a big thing. A lot of people talking about, can he be considered the greatest if he hasn't won it? He's done that now. But I just love watching him play. And just the intelligence, the passing. But again, a lot of what he's doing now, a lot of it comes down to what his teammates are doing for him. Because he can't do this on his own. Like, yes, he's scoring the goals and he's getting all the headlines, and rightly so. But when you look at what his teammates are doing for him out of possession, in terms of putting a shift in, getting after people, that only happens if not only if they respect him, They love him.
Yeah.
Because, like, you look at it, you compare the two camps, right? And I know we're going to talk about Portugal later. You look at some of the Portugal quotes from other players, like João Neves talking about, it's not about Ronaldo, this is about us as a collective team. And I can't remember who the other one was. It might have been Bruno Fernandes or someone saying, it's not always about Ronaldo. Like, we can't just keep talking about him.
Well, even Thierry Henry was talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, and he said, look, he doesn't need to score. The team needs to score.
Exactly. So when you start hearing all that kind of noise, that tells me that's not a completely happy camp. But for Messi, even the way that he walks out to the pitch and they're all behind him, it's almost like they respect him and they're trying to do it for him. But
you could see the love. I agree with you. Everything you said here, I completely agree. There was a moment, I think it was Paredes, allowed Messi the moment. He sort of allowed the ball to go to Messi when he could have potentially scored himself.
Exactly.
You look at when he scored that second goal, when he forced it home as well, like the desire to put that ball in the back of the net. As he spun off celebrating, it's Enzo Fernandez celebrating with him, like the whole team. And Enzo Fernandez can be quite a prickly character. We've seen it. But he clearly is totally fixated on Lionel Messi.
Do you know what it is as well with Messi? Because of, listen, his numbers are incredible in terms of goals, World Cup goals, career goals, right? But he'll still pass the ball when he's supposed to. And that's a big thing. I think sometimes you watch Ronaldo, and there's an element of being greedy where he'll shoot when he shouldn't. Like the chance he had where Bruno Fernandes was behind him,
nicked it.
And he tried to take it. Messi's not doing that.
No, I agree.
Do you know what I mean? He'll still try and he'll do the right thing. But for me, Messi is. Watching him in this World Cup, I've loved it.
Darren, the race for the Golden Boot this year, it's incredible, isn't it? You've got Lionel Messi already on 5, Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland are already on 4. Who do you think is going to win the Golden Boot?
I think Mbappe will win it, but I mean, listen, I expect Kane to get maybe 1 or 2 again this evening, although I don't think it'll be as easy as some people saying 4s and 5s. I don't quite agree with that. But I think Kane will be there or thereabouts, but I'm going to go Mbappe. I called it from before the tournament. He looks hungry. He's even getting chances. I mean, there was a little moment in the game yesterday where Elisa hit the bar.
Oh, when he cut in.
Mbappe's touch
to chip it. Yeah.
Like, he just looks free and happy when he plays for France, and certainly at World Cup. So, yeah, I'm going to go Mbappe. Who do you think?
I think it's very difficult to not say Lionel Messi now, but I'm going to go patriotic. I'm going to say Harry Kane.
Oh, my goodness.
Harry Kane is going to do it. I think it's been amazing, though, because this World Cup, before it started, there was so much noise, so much distraction about everything going on with the World Cup, what it represents, Infantino, Trump, whatever. The big boys have turned up, and it is now just all about the football. It's a joy.
Yeah, I love it. I've absolutely loved it.
I completely agree. It's a real joy. That was a roundup of all the latest World Cup action here on talkSPORT, and it was brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They're here for it.
Daily Tournament Roundup on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Still to come, we're going to find out whether Cristiano Ronaldo is starting for Portugal against Uzbekistan. That game is, of course, live on talkSPORT 2 a little later. But first, it's time for No Googling. We want to know who was Lionel Messi's first ever World Cup goal against. First ever World Cup goal. I'll give you a clue. It was in 06. Do you know the answer, Darren?
Oh, he was there in 06.
Jeez. When he scored the other day, it was exactly 20 years to the day since he made his debut at a World Cup. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We will tell you after this.
Probably there's a deeper thing here, which is we're so used to talking about starting 11s and who starts, right? And in tournament football, really what you should be talking about is who's going to finish those games. I really like how the whole squad now walks out for the national anthem, because I think now more than ever in modern football, it seems to be a squad game. Like if you look at Arsenal's Champions League final, for example, I think 3 of their first 5 penalty takers that they had marked down weren't on the pitch at the end of the game. So really, I don't really think so much about starting 11s anymore. You think about the whole squad and who can make an impact. And I think Rashford just looked great when he came on. Elliot Anderson really impressed me as well, actually. I thought he just looked so composed, so together. Gay was a shock. I'm sure you were surprised by that as well. I just thought he was nailed on to start. I was sort of thinking, who's going to start alongside Gay, really? But I personally wouldn't change anything. And I mean, I don't know, but as an England fan, I just feel it's just such a privilege watching Harry Kane, I think. I just think he's just the most gifted footballer. I think he's just amazing. And I'm watching him now, he's starting to remind me of those kind of later Man United years of Teddy Sheringham. Do you remember when Teddy Sheringham used to drop deep and just start passing balls around, and you're like, the joy of a player who, in the earlier days of his career, didn't necessarily solely rely on his pace, means that you sort of cultivate, you learn a different game. And I think we, as a nation, are absolutely reaping the rewards of that now. So personally, Gabby, I wouldn't make any changes because
Bobby Moore leading England at the 1970 World Cup. But did you know, 2 weeks before this photo was taken, Moore was under arrest in Colombia. So England were doing some altitude training in South America. Moore and Bobby Charlton went to a gift shop in their hotel looking for a present for Charlton's wife, and they left when they found nothing of interest. But as they were standing in the hotel foyer, the shop assistant came out and accused Moore of stealing a gold bracelet. He denied wrongdoing and was let go. England jetted off for a quick friendly match, but returned to the same hotel a few days later. And there, Moore was detained and placed under house arrest. Thinking he'd be without his captain for some time, Sir Alf Ramsey and the rest of the England squad left for Mexico. Back in Colombia, Moore was summoned before a judge. This is him, with the solicitors outside the court. The case saw him have to reenact the moment numerous times and face hours of questioning. By this point, the British Prime Minister Harold Wilson had got involved, and after several days, Moore was released. He got straight on a flight to Mexico City and arrived just in time for tea. The saga was...
You are listening to World Cup Game Day Live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent a Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. We're coming to you live from the Dial in Greenwich, the home of Meantime, as the atmosphere begins to build ahead of England versus Ghana. A few moments ago, we asked you the first of today's No Googling questions. We asked, who was Lionel Messi's first ever World Cup goal against? Darren Bent, do you know the answer?
Now give me a clue.
It was in 2006. It was...
That's the clue, is it?
It was against a team in Eastern Europe.
Give me a player that plays for them.
The answer was Serbia and Montenegro.
That's one, appreciate it.
Now, still to come. We'll find out whether Cristiano Ronaldo is starting for Portugal against Uzbekistan live on talkSPORT 2 later. But now it's time to slide into Game Day with Burger King.
Sliding into Game Day on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
That's right. As we round up the latest from the World Cup, each day we'll be choosing 3 key talking points to discuss ahead of all the action. And to help us do that, we're joined by talkSPORT's reporter, Max Scott. How are you, Max?
I'm doing well, mate. I'm doing well. Looking forward to getting into some of the games this evening, but also to speaking to some of the England fans that are going to be here at the Dial around Greenwich to get the feeling from the fans. And we've actually got some fans in the room, so can we have a bit of a cheer from you lot? Give us a cheer if you're confident England are going to win tonight. Come on, then. There we go.
Feels very confident.
Yeah, and understandably so, that second half, Rory. I mean, you'll speak about it throughout the show. We'll see what the fans are saying. But I just think that second half performance was the most entertaining second half, or just performance from England in a major tournament that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I agree.
So no wonder the fans here, the fans outside, they're feeling something special because Thomas Tuchel, I think, has got that edge that Gareth Southgate doesn't. But I digress. Let's talk about tonight because we've got Portugal-Uzbekistan live on talkSPORT 2, kick-off at 6 o'clock. And I've got to say, Rory, mate, I've been loving your commentary on the Messi-Ronaldo debate because I don't understand why for the last 20 years this has even been a discussion. Yes, Ronaldo's world-class. Yes, he's grafted his way and worked his way to the very top. But Messi was born this way, right? Yeah. Effortless. Now, I've also loved the fact that you have challenged Ronaldo's #1 fangirl, Piers Morgan, to a charity £5 bet. You've said Ronaldo isn't going to score this tournament. They take on Uzbekistan tonight. How confident are you?
Did you take the bet?
I took the bet.
I told you to take it. You was like, I ain't sure if I'm going to take it.
I took the bet. I had no choice but to take the bet. Also, your advice means a lot to me. Your counsel. Once Darren Bent tells me to take the bet, I take the bet.
What did I say though?
Peer pressure from Darren Bent.
No, but I also said to him though, it'll get a penalty. Yeah, open play.
You said
that's
open
what you should have got in there.
I should have gone open play, but it felt like I was diluting it a bit.
Yeah, no,
it felt like I was diluting my conviction.
Go hard or go home, Rory.
Exactly.
No,
But ahead of Uzbekistan, how are you feeling?
I don't think he'll score. I don't think he'll score. I don't know what we've seen in Cristiano Ronaldo's performances of late to suggest that he will score. Everything that you would say as to why he would score, and there's loads of reasons, but it's all legacy, isn't it? It's all what he did in 2008. It's all what he did for Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. It's all what he did for Real Madrid against Bayern Munich. It's nothing to do with what Cristiano Ronaldo has done of late. So I don't think he'll score. Where do you sit on this one?
Well, quite frankly, I'm tired of hearing Portuguese football experts come on talkSPORT and say that there's absolutely nothing wrong with Ronaldo, it's everybody else. In fact, Ronaldo's sister came out. Get these comments, Benty. Magically, the Portugal midfield forgot how to pass, win it back, launch counter-attacks. The game became all about passing backwards. She's blaming the midfield of Neves, Vitinha,
Bruno Fernandes.
Bruno Fernandes. She liked to post criticising Bruno Fernandes, saying he never turns up for Portugal. What do you make of that sort of family involvement?
Yeah, it's embarrassing. I think just leave it. I mean, we all know that Ronaldo, and I said at the top, I didn't think Ronaldo would be the reason they win it because it just you can't play with pretty much 10 men. It's just not going to happen. And I mean, I agree with the penalty in terms of open play. I don't think he will. I mean, he might against Uzbekistan. You'd expect him to, but they'll get a penalty from somewhere. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
He'll get a penalty from somewhere and he'll score.
Like, the thing is, I feel on some level I feel a bit sorry for him because we're witnessing his demise in real time. Like at a World Cup with the eyes of the world on him, we are witnessing him falter at the biggest stage, and that's not nice to see. But ultimately, everyone has a tipping point. There is a line in the sand for every footballer. And I think that his has been and gone.
Do you know what makes him amazing for me is that when they do great things, Portugal, it's all about him. Yeah. The moment they don't, it's not his fault. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They've got to weigh up the argument. I mean, Ronaldo's kind of fan. I call him a cult actually because the amount of people you mention him on social media, they come for you.
Mate, you should see my DMs on Instagram. You should see. Oh, they've gone mad. They've gone. Honestly, if you are a Ronaldo fan, you are as passionate and partisan as any football fan that I've ever known. It's not like a normal, rational conversation. They take it really personally. Yeah. They love him.
The difference I see, though, is it's all about Messi if you're Argentinian. It's all about Ronaldo if you're Portuguese. But for Messi, he's got this way about him that makes it look like it isn't about him, while simultaneously everything's about him. Yeah. Ronaldo's criticised for not running, for standing offside for half the game in their opener, where they drew against DR Congo. Messi doesn't run around, but he's got this way about him. Ronaldo's, for me, comes across as a bit tryhard. Now, Uzbekistan is They're going to win that game. And hopefully for England they do, because as it stands, England could play him in the last 32.
Yeah,
we don't want
disaster.
that. But do you think that Roberto Martinez has got the bottle, has got the mettle?
Nope. He's not the man for the job. He's not the man for the job. But Ronaldo is a bigger force than Roberto Martinez. What Roberto Martinez should do is not be cowardly, drop him to the substitutes bench and allow him to have an impact from the bench. And maybe he could do that. And I know that people listening to this who love Ronaldo will be massively disagreeing. But this is the beauty of the Ronaldo versus Messi debate. And it's very rare that you can do this in football where it's so binary. If you think I'm wrong here, you're an idiot. It's actually, no, but it's actually true, isn't it? It's like it's one of those very few moments in football where if you announce to the world that you think Cristiano Ronaldo is better than Lionel Messi, it's like, okay, we don't need to talk anymore because you've identified yourself as knowing literally nothing about the game. Because there is no comparison. I think that you could say that Lionel Messi is in his own right, in his own level, and incomparable to everyone. I think that you can compare Cristiano Ronaldo to greats of the game, but people that have existed before and will exist again.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi is completely on his own, and he's proving that at this World Cup.
I think that I just think that it's very clear. It was never a debate in the first place, and we're seeing it in real time, as you say, Rory, right now. He was born this way, Messi. But one more thing on Ronaldo. We're talking about it. Television broadcasters are talking about it. Ronaldo's sister's talking about it. Portuguese media are losing their minds over it. If you have any scroll through social media, do you think there's a risk that there will be civil war within the Portugal camp? Because if you're Bruno Fernandes or if you're Bernardo Silva, there must be a part of them that's thinking he's a hindrance, but we can't say it. The manager's not going to back us because he's essentially his babysitter, and he's not going to upset him. Do you think that this risks being a little bit like we saw with the golden age of England, where the players aren't really getting on and there's issues within the camp?
I think so. I think you look at some of the Portuguese players' comments. I mean, João Neves was the one that I thought, when he came out and basically said that, listen, it's not all about Cristiano Ronaldo, it's about us as a team. It's not about one individual, and that almost sent kind of shockwaves. And if you look at the stick that he received after saying that, but I think he's well within his rights because he just won the Champions League. Bruno Fernandes has just had an outstanding season in the Premier League. Vitinha is one of the best midfield players on the planet.
Back-to-back European champion.
Yeah, and it's almost like, well, hold on a second here. Look what we've done. It's not about him anymore. It's about what we're doing.
And all the time, they've got a bloke up front who hasn't scored for 10 games in international tournaments. He's gone 10 games at international tournaments. The last time he scored in an international tournament was June the 23rd, 2001. And he's leading the line. Like, what is this, a charity? Like, I don't understand how you can have somebody leading the line who hasn't scored in 10 games. Just for comparison, by the way, Lionel Messi has now scored in those 10 games, 11 times?
Yeah.
It's
chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
He hasn't scored for 10, he scored 11 in 10.
Another legend that there are questions over about whether he should be starting is Luka Modric. He's 40 years old. We saw him taken off in that second half when England were absolutely dominant, and you started to see Declan Rice and Elliot Anderson's legs really come into play there. Croatia, look, we were talking all last week. England got a monkey off their back against Croatia in the sense that it was Croatia the first side they'd beaten ranked in the top 15 in a World Cup since 2002. So they're no mugs, and they might have a midfield with an average age of 38. But is it time for Luka Modric to maybe come off the bench and marshal a game?
I think so. Listen, I love Luka. I think he's been one of the best players certainly in this generation, but I think it was quite evident. I think if you can still control games in terms of the tempo of it, but when, as England did second half, when they up the tempo and you've got Bellingham running around him, Declan Rice, Elliot Anderson, essentially these guys not only are they're good footballers, they're athletes. Yeah. So when they're running past him and he can't quite keep on, what do you expect? He's over 40 years old. I think it's time, but then you look at the Croatian Federation and go, well, who's coming next? Who can fill that kind of void? Because he's been so good for such a long time that. But again, even with Luka, I think if you had the conversation with him and said, listen, it's probably time now we move on from you, knowing him like I do, he'd probably go, okay, that's fair enough, it's time. You can't have that same conversation with Ronaldo.
The only difference is, though, they're not coming up against a midfield with Elliot Anderson, Jude Bellingham and Declan Rice. They're coming up against Panama. Yeah. So is this, Rory, a similar situation to what we see with probably Ronaldo against Uzbekistan, is that you play Luka Modric, even though he's ageing, even though he might struggle in the conditions, because they're playing against Panama live on talkSPORT 2 midnight kickoff?
Yeah, I think they should play him, actually. I think they should play him simply to make sure that they get these points. But the reason I think they should play him is partly because they don't have the obvious answer, and also because they were quite good against England.
Yeah,
they certainly had a period when they looked at the group. They are the top seed, so they are the best team that England could have possibly played of the second seeds. Yeah. And they lost to a team that were top seed. So they've kind of done what they should do. They put in a really good performance. They gave England a scare. Ultimately, they got beat. But their World Cup starts now, really, and they can take a lot of positives from that game against England.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they have to make any major changes. But it is interesting, isn't it, these conversations about the Neymar is part of this, Luka Modric, obviously, Ronaldo is part of it. Like, I don't agree with it, but there was that sort of conspiracy theory that because it was in America, they wanted the the Hollywood players, they wanted the big names, they wanted the dazzle. Like, I think it's nonsense. But when you see the amount of players and the amount of game time that these
Neymar was a strange one.
Neymar was a really strange one.
Yeah.
And it doesn't really chime with what you know of Ancelotti.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like João Pedro is the kind of player that Ancelotti would love. So I wonder. And they did bend the rules. If you think of what happened back last year in the Club World Cup, Lionel Messi's team into Miami were kind of forced into it, and they shouldn't have been there.
Also, Ronaldo shouldn't have played this first game of this World Cup.
Ronaldo shouldn't have played the first game. Maybe it's not such a conspiracy.
And then just quickly, the final game that we've got to preview is Colombia against DR Congo. Now, we've just been talking about Ronaldo. It's going to be his last World Cup. We've just been talking about Luka Modric. It's going to be his last. Neymar, he's not even going to play, but it's going to be his last World Cup. And also a World Cup legend, James Rodriguez for Colombia. I think these are dark horses, boys. Congo got a great point, but Colombia, they're coming off the back of a win. They've got Luis Diaz, Daniel Munoz, James Rodriguez for the team that he's only really performed for, you could say, in his career, his nation. I think they could go far, and a bit like Croatia, cause some difficulties in a round of 32 last 16.
Yeah, I take Colombia seriously.
Yeah,
I take
footballing nation. The conditions as well.
Yeah, I take Colombia seriously, and that's part of the reason why it's essential that Portugal get points today, because they're going to be going into that final game against Colombia, and they really don't want that to be a winner takes all, or they must win that game. They really don't want it to be that. No, Colombia is a serious football nation. Like, they need to be taken massively seriously and given the respect that they deserve.
Benty, would you be surprised if Colombia won this group? Ahead of Portugal, essentially.
Yeah, I would be. I think you have to be. You just look at them on paper as well. I just think that I like Colombia. They've got some good players, but if you look at the depth of Portugal's squad, if Martinez is going to use it, they should win this group easy for Portugal. It's about, eventually, when the group was named, I was expecting to see, okay, who's going to come second and third. I always thought Portugal would win it.
Yeah, well, that was a look ahead to some of our top fixtures. I mean, we've got Colombia, Congo starting 3 a.m. kickoff for all you creatures of the night. We've got Panama, Croatia, midnight. And, of course, just kicking off in over an hour. Massive game. Is Cristiano Ronaldo going to start as Portugal take on Uzbekistan? I hope for your sake and your bank account, mate, that he's not.
It'd be great if he's dropped, wouldn't it? It'd be absolutely
I think
brilliant.
he is.
You think he starts?
Well, yeah.
Do you think he scores?
Well, yeah, I think he starts.
You think he starts? Do you think he scores, though?
Yes, I do. Nicks a pen.
I don't think
early
it
doors.
does. No, because it's not like Argentina where they're all singing from the Messi hymn sheet. I think you can already see cracks in the Portuguese squad, and I think there's some frustration there. I think he's going to be a frustrated figure, and Piers Morgan, you can going to see the red rash rising up his chest.
Yeah, fingers crossed you're right. Max, you're joining us a bit later as well, aren't you?
Yeah, speaking to some fans outside, can't wait.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Max Scott. That was a look at some of the day's key talking points, all thanks to Burger King.
Sliding into game day on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
You're listening to World Cup Game Day live with me, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent. Still to come, we'll bring you all the build-up to England versus Ghana and hear from Three Lions boss Thomas Tuchel.
This is Olivia Bazaglo. I'm guessing just after Messi has either scored or the final whistle has been blown. Have a listen.
I have just watched Lionel Messi become the all-time leading goal scorer in World Cup history. As literally I look right in front of me, there is still such a huge section of Argentina fans, and I can't even explain to you what it's like in a stadium when all of these people are just worshipping Messi. It's literally the closest you will ever get to God, I swear, in football form. I don't know if you can hear the fans. There's a whole stand of them still jumping, still singing, still holding up a banner of Maradona and Messi on one. I cannot even describe to you, like, the feeling of seeing that happen when you've watched this player all my life. How lucky are we that we've all lived at the same time as Lionel Messi?
That message only goes on for another 9 hours. So you
Oh, they had to
get her thoughts together. Yeah, that's the longest edit ever of a voice
You know what,
note.
though, mate? She told me she was going to the World Cup and said she's going to watch Argentina. And I said to her before she went, Lou, I says, one of the best things you do. The energy you feel in that stadium. I went to the Argentina-Mexico game in the Qatar World Cup, mate. I had nosebleed seats, but like Argentinian fans everywhere. And it felt like you're in company of a god.
Yeah, cool.
You felt the fans.
Yeah.
It feels like, mate, you're in a 90-minute concert. A 90-minute
That's a
Messi
great
concert.
description.
And it's one of the best concerts you'll ever go to. If anybody's over in America, Canada, or Mexico, and you get a chance to go and watch Messi for Argentina, it could be his last tournament, last time you'll see him play, go and do it. If I was in America now, mate, with talkSPORT, I'd be paying whatever. I don't know. I'll pay a lot of money to go and watch him again, mate.
How much? You can have my ticket for.
I've got accreditation.
Have you?
So I'll get it free. But mate, honestly, Andy, like people that watch him at Barcelona.
No, you're right.
peak,
You're seeing the greatest ever.
The fans, mate, the whole game. Watching it yesterday, mate, all I can hear is Messi, Messi, Messi. The whole game. After the game, like Olivia says, it's different, mate.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. We're coming to you live from the Dial in Greenwich, the home of Meantime. Still to come, we're going to be hearing from Ipswich's new manager, Gary O'Neill. But just quickly, Manchester United have announced that they have bought the majority of the land needed to go ahead with their £2 billion worth of redevelopment at Old Trafford. Chelsea are set for over £10 million in compensation when Enzo Maresca becomes the new Manchester City manager. What do you reckon to this one, Darren? Let's start with Manchester United. Manchester United are going to leave Old Trafford. I'm very anti things like this, generally. I like the old stadiums. I like what they represent.
Stuck in the Stone Age, yeah.
I'm stuck in the Stone Age, yeah. I'm also stuck in the Stone Age.
Yeah.
What do you think of it generally? Do you think it's right for Manchester United to move, or do you think that they should try and preserve their relationship with Old Trafford?
Yeah, I thought maybe what I would like to have seen would have been maybe they just kind of refurbish it, but stay there. I think it's so iconic, Old Trafford, that even if they went elsewhere, knocked it down, then built at the same place, I wouldn't have minded that. But I just think refurbish it. I mean, look what Liverpool are doing. Like, it'd be criminal if Liverpool left Anfield.
Yeah, exactly.
They've just built on top. They've kind of developed it a bit more.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to see Man United do that as opposed to just leave Old Trafford.
I think I do also agree with you. And at 6 p.m. over on talkSPORT 2, you can hear Portugal against Uzbekistan. The team news is in for that one, and Adam Bridge has all the details.
Thanks, Rory. Yes, Cristiano Ronaldo, the centre of attention here. Messi, Mbappe, Kane and Haaland have all come to the World Cup party so far. Can Cristiano Ronaldo, well, he does start It's his 24th appearance at a World Cup finals. No goal in his last 10 appearances, although they've tried to give him a helping hand today. 2 changes for Portugal. Bernardo Silva drops out. He's replaced by João Felix, who played alongside him in the Saudi Pro League and actually assisted 6 of Ronaldo's goals last season. Ruben Diaz also comes in for his first start of the World Cup at the back for Portugal. There's 3 changes for Uzbekistan. Nematov comes in goal. Kamrabekov comes into the centre of midfield, and Ganiev will come in to offer an option out wide on the left-hand side. Former Republic of Ireland striker Tony Cascarino is alongside me for this one, live on talkSPORT 2 from 6 o'clock.
Cheers, Adam. Darren, what do you reckon to that? João Felix going to be starting. Bernardo Silva drops to the bench. Cristiano Ronaldo is in the starting lineup for Portugal against Uzbekistan. What do you make of it all?
Yeah, it looks like obviously they're trying to give him a helping hand. Obviously, there's been a big topic of a conversation since the opener. But yeah, listen, he knows João Felix. They've obviously linked up well in the Saudi Pro League. Bruno Fernandes had to play. It's a surprising one though with Bernardo Silva, because he is top, by the way.
Fire.
He's been brilliant for Man City this season as well. You know what you get from him. You can play him anywhere as well. But the combination of Neves and Vitinha, I mean, to break that up, it's going to be a difficult one. But this has to work, because if it doesn't work, then where do they go from here? Yeah. What are they going to try next?
I do agree. That one is live on talkSPORT 2. Now, though, we're going to take a look at the latest odds with Bet365.
On the ball on talkSPORT with Bet365. Get your money back in free bets if your bet builder doesn't come in on tonight's England game. Max free bet varies per customer. Bet restrictions and T's and C's apply. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
And Steve Freeth from Bet365 joins us now. Good afternoon, Steve.
Afternoon, guys.
How are you?
Yeah, sweltering in the Stoke heat, which is a rarity, admittedly.
Yeah, I bet it is. Steve, the only place to start, we've got to talk about England versus Ghana tonight. What are the odds on an England win?
Yeah, very short, aren't they? Strong team, strong bench, strong favourites, Rory, at 2-11 to beat Ghana, who are 16-1. They weren't great against Wales recently in a friendly, and they also scraped through against Panama, didn't they? So we are expecting goals in this. England to win and over 3.5 goals is 6-4. And another 4-2 win is 50-1.
What about the update for the outright winner?
Who you saying, Darren? Who wins it?
Do you know what? It's hard. I mean, I'm going to say France, just because of how they look going forward. So they would still be my favourite. But I mean, Argentina and Messi, you just can't. At the minute, you can't back against them.
No, and they got a good draw as well. They might have Cape Verde, mightn't they, if they go through? So it's 4-1 France, their favourites. 5-1 Spain. England are 13-2, the same price as Argentina. Portugal and Brazil are both drifting at 12-1 and 14-1 respectively. And there's a bit of Norway money, who are into 28-1.
Steve, can we talk about the Golden Boot winner, please? Lionel Messi scoring goals for fun. Erling Haaland looking brilliant. Kylian Mbappe on absolute fire. How's it looking for the Golden Boot?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got a right few quid running on to Harry Kane to get 2 or more. This happened last week, of course, when all the superstars scored 2 or more. And, of course, yesterday, Mbappe, Messi, Haaland both scored 2 or more. And it was 120-1, the treble. So we've got telephone numbers running on to Harry Kane. Mbappe is the favourite, 6-4. Messi, 13-8. Haaland at 5-1. And Harry Kane, before he kicks off this evening, is 6-1 for the Golden Ball.
Well, and what about the odds on the game tonight, which is on talkSPORT 2 at 6 p.m, Portugal taking on Uzbekistan?
Yeah, I think Roberto Martinez could have some problems in Houston, couldn't he? If the 1-7 shots do not win. We've super boosted Bruno Fernandes and Portugal to win from 1-2 to evens. Ronaldo, you know what, guys? He still has a lot of backers. He's 2-5 to score. He's 2-1 to score the first goal. He's 7-1 for a hat-trick, which is ridiculously short. Oh, he's 10-1 to miss a penalty as well, to follow in Messi's shoes from last night. I'll just mention Kushinov quickly for Uzbekistan. Of course, Manchester City's Kushinov. He's 33-1 to be sent off and 80-1 to score a header.
God, amazing. Steve, thank you so much.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, Steve.
Cheers, Steve. And those were the latest odds with Bet365. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
On the Ball on talkSPORT with Bet365. If your bet builder on England versus Ghana doesn't come in, you actually get your money back in free bets. Max free bet varies per customer. Bet restrictions and T's and C's apply. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Right, next up we're going to hear from England manager Thomas Tuchel ahead of the Three Lions clash with Ghana tonight, live on talkSPORT straight after us. You're listening to World Cup Game Day Live with myself, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent.
She says, if you pardon the expression, where the dad, of course, is completely useless at the birth of a child. That's her view, not mine. And she goes on to say, you're not going to cut an umbilical cord. You cannot miss a World Cup. Where do you stand on this, Troy?
It's the first time I've heard what the lady said.
She's strong.
She's an idiot, is what she is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
I think having a child is obviously the greatest thing that any human can do, in my opinion. And you know, say you're not going to cut the umbilical cord. Well, that's silly because you can do that. But also, who are you to question somebody else's desire to be there with their child and their family? I think this would have been a conversation with Belgium beforehand. They know it's coming.
Yeah.
But I also think as well, you know, if I want to go be with my family because we're having a baby, who's reporter A to say whatever she wants to say? But also, let's flip that now. And a male had said that.
Oh yes, it would be misogyny to the highest level.
Yeah, I just think sometimes we live in a new world now where everyone wants to have clickbait and everyone wants to have a headline. But I miss the good old days where you could just tell someone, just shut up, because she's talking absolute nonsense. I've been fortunate enough to have 5 kids, and I've not missed the birth of one of them.
You haven't missed the birth of one of them. She is strong, Simon. I'm looking at another quote coming out of L'Equipe. France Pierron. She says, you're living out a childhood dream, yet you're going to walk away from it all to attend the birth of your child. A disgusting moment.
Disgusting?
A disgusting moment.
I can't take what this person says particularly seriously.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's a serious set of observations. Because, you know, to suggest, first of all, he can come back to the World Cup.
Yeah.
You know, we do live in a day and age where you can fly about in quite great luxury. Yes, it would not be an ideal situation to lose.
You could probably draw a photo of the modern FIFA World Cup trophy with your eyes closed. But what about the original Jules Rimet trophy? And why was it changed in the first place? And is the trophy that gets lifted by the winning team after the World Cup final the original or the replica? The World Cup trophy hasn't always looked like this. It actually used to resemble this. Originally called Victory or Coupe du Monde, it was designed by French sculptor Abel Lafleur and debuted at the first ever World Cup in 1930. It depicted the Greek goddess of victory, Nike, holding an octagonal cup made of gold-plated sterling silver. It had a lapis lazuli base, which is that deep blue gemstone at the bottom. Renamed in 1946 to honour the FIFA president who launched the World Cup, it became then the Jules Rimet Trophy. It went on several adventures during its life, hidden in a shoebox during the Second World War to prevent theft from the Nazis, to famously being stolen in 1966 in England, only to be found by Pickles the dog. Brazil won the right to keep the Jules Rimet Trophy permanently in 1970 after winning it 3 times. There'd be more drama, though, with the trophy again stolen in 1983 in Rio de Janeiro. It's believed to have been melted down. So back to 1970 and the creation of the current and iconic 18-carat gold trophy. Standing at 36.8 centimetres tall with a base made up of 2 layers of green malachite, it's been the World Cup as we know it since the 1974 tournament. But is that the trophy that the winners get to keep? The answer is no. The original gold trophy remains with FIFA and is only displayed at special events. World Cup winners have to settle for a bronze gold-plated replica. The base of the current original has enough space to engrave the names of the winners up to and including the 2038 World Cup. So could we therefore be in for a new trophy in the coming years?
You're listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent, live from the Dial in Greenwich, the home of Meantime. Still to come, we're going to be joined in the pub by some very special guests. But now, it's time to get all of the latest from the England camp with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
On England's Corner, on talkSPORT, brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, we're here for it.
A nation hopes that this time is our time. And a bullet header gives England the lead. He's done it again, Harry Kane.
That emotional connection with the fans, you know, that was a really special moment, I thought.
Harry touched base on it earlier that the last few tournaments we've obviously drawn our second game.
It's finished England 0, United States 0.
6 points in the group will put us in a really good position.
Play against a top opponent, we have full respect and the focus needs to be there.
Don't play with freedom. Express yourself. Extend your wings, fly. And he allowed them to fly.
That's a goal! Oh, what a start of the second half. Jude Bellingham.
Thought in between if the people in the pubs would like it, and I thought, yeah, well, maybe they would like it.
He comes from Rashford, keeping his feet and winning the game for England.
It's been pretty positive and an exciting game for all the England fans.
Yes, that's right. England can secure their place in the last 32 of the World Cup when they face Ghana live on talkSPORT. It's a 9 p.m. kickoff with all the build-up starting with Adrian Durham when we're done at 7 p.m. tonight. The England boss Thomas Tuchel has been speaking to talkSPORT's England correspondent Faker Ruthers ahead of this one, and he was asked what they've been trying to fix since that win over Croatia.
We worked on a lot of stuff. We tried to work on everything, also the things that make us strong. I think the key element to make better is to protect the ball better after ball wins, because Ghana is very strong if they win the ball back after they lost it. So they love to win these second balls and initiate counterattacks with 4, sometimes 5 players, very physical, very fast players, and on a direct way towards the goal. So we need to be very, very careful after our ball wins to protect the ball and be more careful and have less unforced errors in our match than in the last match.
Yeah, they love a counter-attack, and obviously Antoine Semenyo is a fantastic player. Many of your players know him well from playing with him at club, but also playing against him.
Yeah.
What threats that he poses do you need to watch out for?
basically he embodies what they have in the front line, top quality, very physical, very fast, and that's what's coming. I still believe that we play in a very difficult group, and one of the most difficult groups in the tournament. And when I analyze the matches, see the individual quality of Ghana, then I feel that it proves me right. So yeah, that's what's coming. A different type of game that they play, but it's physical. They play very direct, very long balls, straight into their wingers, straight into their strikers, always ready to attack, and always ready to play counter football.
Has it been harder to prep for them because of their change in coach?
We had only 2 matches with the coach, one friendly against Wales and then one opener against Panama. That's basically what we have, and yeah, so that's what we used in the preparation, and the rest was focus on us.
And I know you want to win every game, but how important would it be, having seen other teams go through after 2 wins, to be able to plot what comes next? How important would it be to win?
It's my first tournament, but when we analyze the tournaments before, it seems to be important to have clarity and to have the lead in matches. So we want to first of all have the lead and don't think too far ahead. It's the most difficult match is tomorrow, but we have one more match in the whole tournament, of course, also to go. So yeah. If we have the chance to win it tomorrow, of course we will try everything, but it's not only on us. We play against a top opponent. We have full respect, and the focus needs to be there.
Fascinating stuff there from Thomas Tuchel. Darren, obviously England were great. There's so many positives that we can focus on off the back of that victory against Croatia. But if you think about where we need to improve, where do we need to elevate in terms to potentially win this tournament, it's what's going on at the back. We conceded 2 goals against Croatia, didn't we?
The only thing I'd say about that, right, they were 2 worldies. So the first one was a great strike, and the second one is really well. I mean, Perisic's header, I didn't even know that someone was behind him. So I think there were 2 really well worked goals.
I think at times, I think you've been very generous.
No, but sometimes we try to nitpick every single goal and say the mistakes, but sometimes you have to hold your hands up and go, fair play. And I think those 2 goals were fair play.
Ezri Konsa was reversing basically all the way back. Like it was just constantly reversing. I feel like Pickford could have probably done better with a long shot.
Yeah, but we've seen a lot of goalkeepers at this tournament with this ball potentially flying in the corner. But listen, I think the first half performance, of course, they can improve on. But the second half performance was incredible, and I think that showed you the level of what England teams can get to. But this will be a different challenge for so many different reasons. Because you look at the Ghanaian side and what they've got in their side. I mean, you look at the season Semenyo's had. He has been. I mean, he would be close to, for me, being PFA Player of the Year. I thought what he did the first half for Bournemouth and what he did second half for Manchester City, I think he's incredible. The midfield 3 is going to be strong. Ayew is probably one you go, not really, but he still holds the ball really well. He still brings others into the play. But make no mistake about this. If England sharp and play the way they played in the second half, they should win this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's analyse that then. With the second half performance was so much better. We've heard the players speaking about the brilliance of Thomas Tuchel's half-time team talk. How valuable do you think it is for us to have a manager that is capable of changing the game with his words every time he gets a moment with the players?
Well, there's going to be an element of respect there, and I'm not saying that they didn't respect Gareth, because they did, and what Gareth did, the job he did, was a fantastic job. But it depends where the message is coming from. Now, me being sceptical, of course there's going to be maybe 1 or 2 players in the dressing room when Gareth is talking that you'll be listening to him, but there might be like 0.5% of doubt, seed of doubt. Coming from Thomas Tuchel, someone who's won the biggest trophies, you're all listening, you're all taking it all in. So I'd be fascinated, and again I'm going to try and find out exactly what was said at half-time, because they came out like a completely different team. The energy was there, they were on the front foot. It probably should have been about 7, if you're honest, the amount of chances they missed. It just looked completely different. Now, if you think about what happened in the last 2 finals, I always go back to the Italy one for England in the Euros, where we score so early and then we didn't do anything. Can you imagine Thomas Tuchel if he had hold of that situation? Or even the Spain one, although I thought Spain were the best team in that tournament. So they might have still won that. But the Italy one is the one I look at and think, what more could Gareth have done to get
and
out
also,
the players?
It was Mancini who won it.
Exactly.
It was Mancini who won that game.
Yeah.
And we had the opportunity to win it. We were playing at home in a Euros final.
After 50 seconds or something.
Well, you know, in that entire game, in that 180 minutes worth of football, we had 120 minutes worth of football. Sorry, we had 1 shot on target in all of that game. That's just not good enough, is
No,
it?
it's not.
You're right. Thomas Tuchel would get England over the line in those
That's
moments.
the thing. In those moments, and again, I always go back to the Champions League final, and you know better than I would. You had like the whole bit talk about that build-up was Man City going to win this.
Yeah.
Pep's finally going to win his first one. What does Thomas Tuchel do? Okay, we'll see. Sets Chelsea up in a certain way.
Yeah.
In the end, other than the Mahrez chance, it was relatively comfortable for Chelsea.
Do you know what? The final is obviously the thing that you talk about there, because that is the highlight of the tournament. Of course it is. Lifting that silverware, beating Pep Guardiola, Chelsea winning the European Cup. Of course it is. But it was the road to the final as well, Darren. We didn't concede a goal.
I know.
We didn't concede a goal.
That's Thomas Tuchel. And people might go, how much does a manager play in terms of setting up a team tactically, and how much is the players? Well, Thomas Tuchel in this scenario, if he can get the message across right, which he has done, England have got a great chance.
And we have to time it right, don't we? Like, it's all very well playing really well in the first game. You've got to keep the momentum going. You've got to peak at the right time.
That feel-good factor as well, and I think he's trying to do that. And again, I know that he's a foreign manager, but when I listen to him speak and the way he talks about his England players and him having experience in England, he just gets it.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? Capello never got it. Sven got it to a point, but Thomas Tuchel just to me feels like he just gets it.
It feels like a happy camp as well, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it feels like what we have the managerial excellence married up with the happy camp. Like, Gareth Southgate was fantastic at making England a happy place, making players want to play for their country.
It was the other side of it.
But it was the other side of it.
Yeah,
Thomas Tuchel, it feels like he's straddling both aspects of this.
He's got it, like, the margins are so fine in terms of a competition, of course, but he's got the balance for me, the mix and the blend almost perfect. Now, I know it's early, we've only played one game, but the signs, and you're hearing some England fans saying that second half performance is the most exciting they've ever seen. I
think it is. I don't even think it's an extreme thing to say.
Yeah.
For the first time in ages, you can actually say that the most I've watched, and I know you have as well, Darren. I've watched a lot of football. It was the best game that I've seen. The best game.
Half.
I think from a neutral's perspective, the best 90 minutes was England versus Croatia so far.
Yeah.
It was the most exciting, it was the most enthralling, there was the most amount of jeopardy, it had the most amount of moments. I think it was the best game. And that was certainly not the case under Gareth Southgate.
No.
So no, it does feel like a happy camp. Do you think we get the job done against Ghana?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be a travesty if we don't.
Yeah, I do agree with you. That was a look at all of the latest in the England camp with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. They're here for it.
On England's Corner on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
Right, we're going to go now to speak to Max Scott after the break. We will speak to you then. This is Drive on talkSPORT.
Now, earlier in the show, we asked the all-important question. Who was faster in their pomp? Kyle Walker or Gabby Agbonlahor? Well, talkSPORT's Anil Kandala was at the talkSPORT fan zone at Villa Park last night for England against Croatia, and he put that question to some of the fans in attendance.
It's a tough call, but I'd go for Gabby. He was awesome, and no defender wants anybody with that pace running at them. So I'd go for Gabby. I would.
Quicker than Kyle Walker?
I think so. Yeah, I do. And I'm sure Gabby would agree with me.
Gabby. Well, he used to dart across the field, didn't he? I think he's better than Kyle, to be honest.
Well, we had Kyle on loan for us for many years ago, and he was quick, but Gabby was quicker.
And there you go. It might be a little bit unfair because Gabby Agbonlahor is in that building behind me, but it seems that Gabby's got the vote.
Right,
yeah.
the rest of the world.
He actually spoke to about 100 people who were there, but we only decided to show 3, okay?
I clipped that up for them.
Yeah.
Do you know what, though? When I think about Kyle, when I go back to that game, Kyle, of like, I think it might be Germany at Wembley, and you was right side of the 3, but like you was all the way in the right back position, and I was at the game, mate, and you come sprinting across, mate. Someone was through on goal. I can't remember who it was.
Muller.
It was Muller, yeah. I'm like, where has this guy come from? And you've done that for the last 15, 16 years, mate. Your centre-half pairings with England and Manchester City must have been looking at you thinking like, okay, maybe I can leave a bit of space in behind, because you would always just come out of nowhere and cover.
Yeah, I think that was what my game was based on. You know, I probably didn't create that much going forward with assists and stuff. I chipped in with a few, but not as much as probably what I should have done. So my main game when I got a little bit older was to make sure I can cover the back.
Incredible.
Here's a great suggestion. Jill's a regular contributor. She says, why not get both of them in the car park? Said, my money's on Kyle.
Just about, yeah.
You know football.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent. We're coming to you live from the Dial, the home of Meantime. talkSPORT have actually timed up with Meantime to create a lager for the World Cup. So Good Lager. As well as being poured from this very venue, it will be available in some of the best sports pubs across the UK. You can find your nearest pub by visiting our website. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. In the pub by some very special guests. But now we're going to head out and speak to and soak up the atmosphere with some of the fans at the Dial. talkSPORT reporter Max Scott is speaking to the fans. Max, what have you got for us, mate?
Well, you're crossing to me. It's absolutely El Scorchio here, boys. I'm regretting my decisions for wearing T-shirt and long trousers. And to add to my misery, I've caught up with two Arsenal fans. But we're forgetting about club football now during the World Cup. We've got two Arsenal fans. We've got Alex, we've got Alpha. Alex, talk to me about tonight. After that second-half performance against Croatia, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling confident, man. I don't see us having any problems. I think that was our biggest test. And I think now it's an easy ride. I think we're just going to smash them, to be honest with you.
Do you think there should be any changes to that centre-back pairing? That's been a big talking point.
To be honest, I think it's a bit questionable, the whole defensive thing. But I'd like to see Mark Gay in the team and Konsa. I think that's our solid centre-backs, really.
Yeah. Score prediction for tonight?
Or 4-1.
4-1. We like it, Alfie. You're questioning that a little bit. Do you think it's going to be as big a scoreline as that?
I don't know. When Ghana played the other day, they did win, but it wasn't the most graceful, you know. Yeah. But I'll just go 2-0 because you never know what happens at the World Cup.
A lot's been made about Thomas Tuchel, about he's got that extra edge over Gareth Southgate. Do you see that in England so far? How far do you think they can go?
I think in that second half, like when they came out and they was firing, you definitely saw that edge right there. And I think the more games that they play, the more that they'll catch some good rhythm, the players will be clicking and they'll be flowing. So I think England can surprise a couple of people in this World Cup. I'm behind them.
World Cup fever, it's an overused phrase, but for obvious reasons, there's a lot of confidence here today, boys.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to this game tonight because honestly, Jack with the sound effects. Because he looked like he was in front of a portable toilet.
Is that where he was stood?
I think so.
Yeah, no, you've done very well there, Max. Like, excellent work, excellent commentary. But where exactly were you stood? It looked like you were stood in front of a porta potty.
That's what it looked like to me.
Yeah, very interesting choice of spot. But big predictions there. I think Alpha said, what, 4-1?
A lot of people are going very, very big on the 4s and the 5s, but listen, England should win. I'm not going to get carried away and say they'll beat Ghana, because you just don't know. Ghana have got some good players, but if England are anything like they were second half and they're at it, there's no reason why they can't get a result and make it comfortable for them. And then even if they do go 1 or 2 up, then Thomas Tuchel maybe might look at the squad as a little bit more rotation, but...
it'd be lovely. It'd be lovely to have it in the bag to qualify for the round of 32 after 2 games. It'd be a dream, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be nice.
It'd be so much better than what we used to as well. Do you remember when we were out under Roy Hodgson in Brazil? We were out after 2 games rather than through after 2 games.
The only thing I can remember about the Hodgson era was the Iceland.
Nah, mate, it's amazing that he was a manager for Iceland. It's a disgrace, actually. It shames the FA, because we went to Brazil. It was a new low for English football. We were out of the World Cup. 2014, we were out of the World Cup before we even played our 3rd game.
Yeah.
And then he got the opportunity to take us to 2016, and we got done by Iceland on a Monday night.
So you're not happy with the FA? So you're not happy with the FA and that decision, also not happy with the FA with Thomas Tuchel? Tuchel appointment.
How can you keep your job as England manager?
Why the Thomas Tuchel appointment?
I'm fully backing it now.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that another day. Now, boss Gary O'Neill has been announced as the new manager of Ipswich Town. He joins from Strasbourg and takes over from Kieran McKenna, who stood down earlier this month. He spoke to the media a little bit earlier today and was asked if securing safety is the only ambition for the club next season.
If you ask probably 14 clubs in the division, the first aim will be that. And of course, we want to go on from that. I think the beauty of, and the thing that drew me to this role, because there's been Premier League clubs in the past that I've spoken to and decided not to go to. The reason that this one appealed so much is, of course, the history and the size of the club, but also the ambition and where the club is at. It's not one that's just looking to achieve safety. You know, the aim is to grow and to achieve more than that. It's been in Europe before. It's won in Europe before. It's a big football club that we can do special things with. So, but of course, as a newly promoted side, if I sat here and said anything but we need to make sure we stay up first, I'm sure you guys would be fairly surprised, because coming up from the Championship, we know what the challenge is like. So we embrace that first, and then we see what we can do beyond that.
Very interesting words there from Gary O'Neill, and there is no one better to ask about this appointment than you, Benty. You're an Ipswich Town Hall of Famer. What do you make of this appointment? You happy with Gary O'Neill going to Ipswich?
Yeah, he was the first one I thought of when Kieran decided to make the announcement that he was going to step down and step away from it from a little bit. Straight away, the first name that came to my mind was Gary O'Neill. Obviously, having spent time with him, knowing what he's about, knowing not only so much what he was about, but how much he spoke highly of Ipswich and how he'd had conversations with him before in the past, and that the project is exciting. The moment the opportunity came, that for me, he was the right man for the job, because he'd almost done his homework before there was any conversations about him getting this job. So that tells me how much he wants it before it was even available. So yeah, I'm excited about it. It's a big opportunity for him as well. I thought we'd done well at Wolves at the start, maybe went a bit south after that, but I thought we did a really good job at Bournemouth before Andoni Iraola into a fresh dressing room that have just been promoted. The feel good factors there, and also as well, he's going in there early enough that he can get the players in that he wants, decide who he doesn't want to keep, and that he's got the whole of pre-season. So yeah, I'm excited for Gary.
Do you think they got it right? The club got it right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any. I mean, there's a risk attached to every appointment. Even if you go and get Jose, it's a risk appointment. There's attached to it, but I just think for Gary O'Neill, in terms of his profile and what he wants to do, in terms of the level that he's at, it just feels perfect to me.
Yeah, I agree with you, actually. What do you think, Darren, with regard to the ambition? Because the natural thing to say about any promoted side is you have to survive.
Yeah, of course.
But then you see the likes of Leeds United, who went a lot beyond that expectation to achieve.
Yeah.
Sunderland came up via the playoffs. They were a lot of people's favourites to go down. Everybody was saying that they were promoted a year too early. And they're now in Europe.
Yeah.
Do you think that kind of experience, witnessing that happen just a year ago, could invigorate and inspire this Ipswich side?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, Sunderland's ambition was incredible. I mean, some of the players that they managed to get over the line, the likes of Mukiele from PSG, 10 million, Brian Brobby, who was brilliant for them, do you know what I mean? Alderete, they put their hand in their pocket and they recruited really, really well. So if Ipswich do that, that'd be brilliant. But it's not only about Granit Xhaka, I didn't even mention him, Sunderland.
Yeah.
I think it's not only about spending the money, it's about the recruitment. Because we've seen so many promoted teams, newly promoted teams, spend badly and go down, and then it cost them. I think if Ipswich get their recruitment, Ipswich can't do what Sunderland did.
Do you think they'll survive?
Yes.
Yeah. Be very interesting to see. Yeah, I think they can. I think they can, and I'd like to see them up. I think Ipswich, you know, when I do my sort of dream Premier League 20, the 20 teams that I believe belong in the Premier League, Ipswich Town are undoubtedly in it.
Yeah.
They're a team that I like to see in the Premier League.
Nice.
Yeah, I always remember Sam Dallabonna scoring a last-minute winner against them at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fond memories,
Marcus
very
Stewart
fond
and them
memories.
boys, that team there, early 2000s, brilliant.
Yeah, they're a good side. Yeah, really good side. Now, still to come, we'll be keeping you up to date with Portugal versus Uzbekistan, which is live over on talkSPORT 2. But first, it's time for No Googling. Erling Haaland is just the second player in the last 50 years to score World Cup games. We want to know, who is the other player?
Messi became the all-time top scorer in World Cup history, 2 goals against Austria. But it's remarkable, Simon, that he continues to rewrite the history books as he approaches 39. I mean, it is remarkable.
39 tomorrow, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen, these players, these elite players that are now looking after themselves. Ibrahimovic was playing up until 41. You know, Ronaldo is playing despite people making observations about his form. You know, that's because they're judging him by a set of standards that he can no longer get to. Messi, at 39 years of age, these are supreme athletes that look after themselves, that are consummate professionals, and want to play football. It makes you wonder, without trying to be controversial, why Alan Shearer stopped playing international football so young.
Oh, that's right.
You know, you wonder why these players can look after them. So you wonder how clever Harry Kane will be that will enable him to play to this age, because, you know, football's a wonderful game to play and you're a long time retired.
Yes.
So well done to him. Fabulous.
He's competing in his 6th World Cup. He's scored 18 goals in the tournament, which is 2 more than Miroslav Klose, the previous record holder. He's the 3rd player to score in 6 successive appearances at World Cup after Just Fontaine, great name, in 1958, and Jairzinho, you remember him, in 1970.
You were at those games?
I wasn't at that. I've met Jairzinho, incidentally, in Rio many years ago. With him in this form, though, why can't Argentina win the World Cup again? Do you have a sneaky feeling they might?
No. I think that, you know, there has been instances, and we've seen it, and I know that I'm rolling against the precedent.
Yeah.
But on the whole, teams win World Cups. Now, obviously, we've seen the '86 World Cup being dragged there by Maradona. We've seen the 2022 World Cup being dragged there by Messi. I think there are better teams that are able to overcome the individuality of one player. At the end of the day, someone has to provide the ball to Messi.
So Jeff Hurst is a name that's synonymous with the World Cup, especially in England. That hat-trick at Wembley in 1966, the stuff of legend. But did you know the tables turned 4 years later when a dodgy goal decision cost him and England another shot at glory? After 66, Jeff Hurst is a household name. England's main striker, a goal every other game for his country, and even a spot singing on Top of the Pops. It looked a bit different, didn't it? But the 1970 World Cup wouldn't be a cakewalk. Hurst only scores 1 in 3 in the groups, and England finish 2nd, meaning they get a tougher draw for the knockouts. And who's waiting for them in the quarter-finals? West Germany. It's a physical game, and as you can see, Hurst wasn't given much time on the ball. England go 2 up, but the Germans come back, and we're going to extra time. Gerd Müller scores, and seemingly puts Germany in the last 4. Just moments from time, though, Jeff Hurst has the ball in the back of the net. But the referees decided that when Francis Lee cuts in from the right, despite his cross clearly deflecting off a German boot, Hurst is offside, so he disallows it. After that decision went in England's favour 4 years earlier, suddenly they're on the receiving end of a controversial call. England had been one of the favourites, and Hurst never played at the World Cup again. If only we'd had VAR. Ugh, can't believe I just said that.
Dark, innit? Stan. Jeez.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent, live from the Dial in Greenwich, the home of Meantime. A few moments ago, we brought you the second of today's No Googling questions. We asked, Erling Haaland is just the second player in the last 50 years to score multiple goals in his first 2 World Cup games. We want to know, who is the other player? Does anyone have a clue? Darren Bent.
I'm going to go for, I'm probably way off it, Harry Kane.
Harry Kane in 2018.
Am I right?
You are correct.
Wow.
You are correct. I feel like you might have been peering over my shoulder.
Mate, can you see the sun behind us? I can't even see the screen.
That is true. Now, still to come, we're going to be hearing from Declan Rice ahead of England versus Ghana live on talkSPORT tonight. But now, it's time to look ahead to tonight's Sports Bar special with Burger King.
World Cup Game Day Sports Bar preview on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
This evening, live over on talkSPORT's YouTube channel, Cundy and O'Hara will be presenting a Sports Bar special. And alongside them both, they'll be joined by a special guest, which they've been debating over throughout the day. And we can now reveal, joining them tonight will be former England striker, it's Carlton Cole. Good evening, Carlton Cole. How are you?
Yay! Cole!
How are you? How are you? Thank you. It's been a big build-up to this day, isn't it?
Yeah, mate, it's going to be great.
It's been a big build-up.
Yeah,
I think it's Ray. Ray didn't want to come, so he said, "Listen." He phoned me up. He goes, "Listen, Cole, you do the job, mate." Ray. It was out of me and Ray Parlour, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
No, it's going to be class, because what Cundy and O'Hara are doing on that Sports Bar is amazing. And you being there tonight to watch the England game, looking forward to it?
Oh, of course I am. I love it when England are playing. I get my shirt on, I get really involved. And, yeah, it's just a great time to be alive, innit? And especially when we're doing well, you know? That's the main thing for me.
Don't like them when they're doing badly, no?
Glory.
Well, listen, me in your days, we was always in and around it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I enjoyed when I went away with England.
I very rarely felt part of it.
I feel, yeah, when you're in the vicinity, when you're in the team, and you're there, take a step back and be a fan and enjoy it from a different angle.
What did you make of England in their first game? Game of 2 halves. I know that's so cliche, but a lot of people are talking about the second half and how good England looked.
It was a game of 2 halves. You know, 2-2 going into the second half, and then things just changed. All flipped on his head. I just love the way Tuchel just went attacking. Says, you know what, we're not going to consolidate. We're gonna add to what we've got already. So and the substitutions were bang on. Rashford comes on, scores as well. And that's what you want to see from. And I think we don't want to be too conservative. We want to express ourselves. Yeah. And I think that's what Tuchel's bringing to the camp.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you mentioned it there, like Rashford coming on, scoring.
Yeah.
Do you think he should start? Would you make any changes to the starting 11?
That's the thing. And I heard you, Bent. You said about you think you'd make 2 changes.
Yeah.
Mark Gay has to come in.
Has to.
And obviously Rashford as well. I would leave it for now. I know what you're saying, but why change a winning team from the start. Like, you want them to get some momentum, and you want everyone to know their place early on in the thing. And then if someone underperforms, then you know you're coming in. But you don't want to just upset the apple cart just too soon. I think, and I heard Tuchel saying as well that he might, he says, that doesn't need to change it really. But if he does, it's something to think about, and there's a lot of players pushing for that starting place.
I think it's the Gahey one. The Rashford-Gordon one, a lot of people spoke about the defensive work which Gordon did, and then Rashford come on and kind of reap the benefits with the goal.
Yeah.
But Mark Gahey is just still one I can't get my head around, because he has been incredible this year.
Yeah, I look at it and I think, listen, he's not done anything wrong, has he?
No, not at all.
The only thing is that the manager knows what he's doing.
True. Yeah, true.
This time around, we can't even give it to Southgate and say, I'll do this if it was him, because we've seen Southgate make mistakes.
Yeah.
This time, we know this guy is an elite manager, so he must know what he wants out of his team, and he knows what player is going to come on and make an impact, what player needs to just be on the bench for now. Doesn't matter how good they are, what they've done. But we've got someone like Mark Gahey on the bench. That you know that we're going to be all right later on in the tournament.
Yeah, so what about the players, not necessarily that you would drop because they need to be dropped, but the players that you would drop because they need to be rested, protected, preserved, whatever spin you want to put on it. So, for example, Declan Rice has got a slight back issue.
Yeah.
Do you think that he should start? Bukayo Saka is obviously needs to be treated with kid gloves.
I'd probably send them home if I was told to.
You just trying to protect the Arsenal.
This Arsenal guy beside me. But no, what I would say is, the opportunity is there to play a World Cup. Why would you want to be on the bench? You see Bukayo saying that he's declaring himself fit. He wants a bit more. He wants a big part to play. But you got the other players. Once they start, and that's the thing about it, Bentley, once you start getting rhythm, you start to feel more confident, then there's going to be a problem to get into the team. So I think they'll probably be thinking, if I give up my place now and the players are in a good way, it's going to be hard to get in.
Do you think, for someone like Saka, who's had his injury problems this year, and he's still carrying a slight knock, sometimes we need to be safe from ourselves. Because how many times do you reckon we stepped on the football pitch? So sometimes, as footballers, you think,
well, Bentley, we don't talk about it. You don't talk about it. You don't even come out and say, I've got a little back problem.
Just get on with it.
Just get on with it. It shouldn't even be in the press, really and truly. We shouldn't even know about it. So there's loads of times. Listen, I played on one knee half my career. But you see me limping, but that's about it. Bukayo, we know that Bukayo's had an Achilles problem, and I hope that he does get over it. But we've got adequate solution to replace him, so it's not a problem. Just get yourself fit. If you play your part, you play your part. If you don't, it's okay. Let's not be greedy. The main thing is the first team going out there and giving their all and making sure that they leave everything out on the pitch, and hopefully we get the result that we're supposed to. What was the result that we need?
Do you think we will? We're going to do it tonight?
What kind of question is that?
No, I'm with you.
Listen, we overcome Croatia, who we've hit a stumbling block over a few times, and that gives you the confidence to go in and make sure that we just leave everything out on the field and come with a little bit more confidence going into this game.
Do you know what it is? The only thing that can derail us is complacency.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like,
I can't even see it.
But I can't imagine Thomas Tuchel allowing that to happen. Yeah. So you going out there thinking, we beat Croatia, we'll go out there and just beat Ghana.
Also, there's so much at stake. Like, when you talk about complacency, how can you possibly be complacent when you have the opportunity to win? Puts you in the last 32.
But you see Tuchel, you see, there's a little clip. I love this little clip. When it was, I think it was on Sky Sports, when it was on Jed Spence.
Yeah.
And he says, "Come on, you've already had 5 minutes to wake up, basically." And that is he's buoying him. He's buoying him.
Yeah.
So that shows you he's got authority over his team.
Yeah.
And these are the boys he can control. So come on, wake up, let's get that. There's going to be no complacency in this team. You can tell already. Just from that little clip there, I know he garners the respect for the players.
And do you know what? It's not even so much Thomas Tuchel as well. You have the likes of Harry Kane. You have the likes of Jordan Henderson. And you spoke about why Jordan Henderson is there. It's for complacency. Because knowing him as well as I do, he's not allowing any of that to go on in training. Because he's been one of the players that have been there, that have got close to winning a major tournament, that haven't done it. He's not allowed to let standards.
And we've seen it before, haven't we, actually? Even if you think back to the last World Cup, we got off to a flyer, we scored 6 goals in the first game, everything was good, the feeling around the camp was good. Suddenly we played the USA, wallop, 0-0, everyone's complaining. It's very important to keep the momentum moving forward, isn't it?
Yeah, you need it. You need good performances, but I mean, what you don't want to do is you don't want to game one, bang, out the blocks, and then you kind of stumble you out the group, and then you want to keep that momentum going. And even if you beat Ghana 1-0, but the performance is good. They move it really well. Tactically, it looks really well.
Yeah, that's why we need Declan Rice to be playing.
Yeah,
I know he's probably got a little nerve pain, but he needs to just take an anti-inflam and crack on.
Yeah.
And listen, do you know what it is? It is. Take an anti-inflam, crack on. And then worry about that later when you go back to Arsenal and don't start the season. But we don't want the World Cup by then.
Yeah, absolutely. You looking forward to the sports bar tonight, Carlton?
Of course I am.
Yeah, it's going to be class.
With Cundy and
O'Hara, it's going to be unreal.
Like those, come on, you know what goes on with them.
I will be tuned in as well.
I'm so happy to be a part. Unbelievable in this. It's getting better and better.
Well, you're part of the sports bar crew, right?
Yeah,
the Friday crew. You and Catman.
I'm a Friday man. I'm the Friday man. Yeah. But we're all in it together, and everyone props each other up. I fill in when I need to, and I'm part of the banter, so it's all good.
Love that. Love that. Do not forget to tune into the Sports Bar special over on talkSPORT's YouTube channel tonight, just before 9 p.m. That's all thanks to Burger King.
World Cup Game Day Sports Bar preview on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Now, a reminder that over on talkSPORT 2 from 6 p.m. tonight, you can hear Portugal versus Uzbekistan. And as we now know, Cristiano Ronaldo will be starting that game. We'll discuss that next with former England, West Ham and Chelsea striker Carlton Cole. This is World Cup Game Day live with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent.
Steve Clark's taken a bit of heat since the Morocco game, Alan, because, there was a feeling that Shankland, who is a natural finisher, maybe should have been on the pitch, never got a chance.
Well, I was going to come to that, guys, because this Brazil game, what does he do? Does he sit back, and if we get beat 1-0, it's probably enough to qualify, which is remarkable, which is brilliant. Or does he have a go and say, look, let's push them back, let's try and get at them? Now, who do you play up front? Do you play Shea Adams again? He's more mobile than Shankland. Shankland is the best finisher Scotland have got in the squad. He's a McCoy's job. You know, he can finish, make no mistake. So he'll be kicking Steve Clark saying, you got to play me. You got to play me. I'm in great form. So it's an interesting one. But whoever plays there, as I say, guys, I think John McGinn's the one who's got to try and spark off him when the ball goes forward. We've got to retain some sort of possession, or we're going to be under so much pressure. And down that left-hand side, Vinicius Jr., that's the side that really worries me for Scotland. We've got to block that off. But in saying that, look, as long as we defend better, give no stupid goals away. In fact, the goal against Morocco, that was a great finish. I'm not going to whinge and say, how can you lose a goal that early? It was a great finish. It was an offside decision. He pushed up when he shouldn't have done, and we got punished. After that, second half, we were great. I thought Christie came on and done well. And I thought the boy from Norwich done well. Kenny McLean, he came on and done well. So it's going to be an intriguing one. It's going to be, all eyes will be on the coach to see what he does and how he plays and what formation he plays.
Another one is Gannon Doak, who's very popular with the fans. But you talk about Vinny Jr., maybe one way...
He looked good when he came. Yeah. In both games he's looked good.
But he's great going forward, isn't he? Well, maybe you've got to do a defensive job first, and if you need to be chasing it, that's when you bring Gannon Doak on, I guess.
Yeah, well, this is the dilemma that, managers have to make, because as fans, you want to see Gannon Doak play. You want to see him try and terrorise the fullback and get whip crosses in. But sometimes if you're that type of player and you don't get the ball to feet, and you don't get enough of the ball,
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
The
used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
I love this tune, Carlton Cole. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings, Darren Bent and Carlton Cole. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. We're coming to you live from the Dial in Greenwich, the home of Meantime. Still to come, we're going to be hearing from Declan Rice ahead of England versus Ghana live on talkSPORT tonight. But just quickly, in cricket, Ben Stokes and Gus Atkinson have been recalled for the third test against New Zealand with the series level at 1-1. And Chelsea are set for over 10 million quid in compensation when Enzo Maresca becomes the new Manchester City manager. Now, let's talk about Portugal because they kick off against Uzbekistan live on talkSPORT 2 in just a few minutes' time. And the big news is Cristiano Ronaldo starts, despite criticism over his performance in the opening game against the Democratic Republic of Congo. He's also seen Messi bag 5 goals in his opening 2 games, whilst Mbappe and Erling Haaland both have 4.
Do you think that's still a big story, though? I just don't.
What, Ronaldo starting? Yeah, I think it is.
Do you know why I don't think it is? Because I don't think it was ever in any doubt that he was going to start. Do you know what I mean? It's not like it's
but it's still newsworthy. It's still quite an interesting.
What's the bigger story? Him not playing or him playing?
Listen, who else? Like, think about this, right? Everyone's talking about Ronaldo. Listen, who else is starting in front of him?
Gonzalo Ramos. Give him a
come on, bro.
You don't know that because you haven't seen him play. Give him a chance. You've got to give someone a chance.
Do you not think, Carlton, you know, if you don't play for Paris Saint-Germain on a regular basis, but you're still in the squad, you've still helped them retain a European Cup, you're still part of it. You're a better player to be a bit part player for Paris Saint-Germain rather than a starter for Al Nassr, aren't you?
I know what you're saying. It makes sense. But for me, he's not better than Cristiano, even in this state. He's just not.
So what do you do?
Well, do you think it's correct to start him?
Do you know what? Cristiano has to play a certain amount of minutes, yeah? Because you know that if you start the game with him and he's fresh in the game, or do you want to start him later? Do you want to bring him on later on? It's either the manager wants the aura at the start of the game, and then he wears out, and then bring on Ramos later, or you can do it the other way. Yeah. But he can't play a 90-minute.
I think that was the problem last game, is that Martinez just left him on the whole time.
Can't play a 90-minute.
Even when you look at him, and you can see that he's maybe not, he's flagging a little bit.
He's not mobile enough anymore.
Also, you think of the players that he took off. Like, think of the substitutions that were made in that game. You look at what Roberto Martinez did. Yeah. How can, took off Bernardo Silva early? How can you possibly?
So then we'd have to look at Roberto Martinez instead of Ronaldo.
Yeah, I think Roberto Martinez is a coward. Yeah, I think he's scared to drop. Because
he's scared to lose his job. You know what I mean? So look, he's like a president over in Portugal. Like he runs things over in Portugal. He's got loads going on over there, and he is worldwide respected. So now you've got people that need to talk to him in a certain way to make him understand. And I think he does. He will understand that, listen, I can't do what I used to do at this level anymore. But you got to manage me properly. Manage him properly. You need some authority over him.
Do you not think that Portugal are a better team without him? Like, I genuinely believe that Cristiano Ronaldo is holding Portugal back.
Is that what you think?
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's a lazy narrative. I think you can still listen. You've been in teams, right? When there's a player that's been a passenger, but you still win games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's a way to play to include him into that squad, but he's not using the other players properly.
But 10 games without a goal at major tournaments.
That is a problem.
10's heavy.
But But then you look at the Nation League. He done really well in that.
Yeah, but
he was top
he
goal
did well
scorer.
in that. He even did well. He even did well in the qualifying for this World Cup.
Yeah.
So I think that you can say that he's done his bit. He's contributed, no doubt.
So you say drop him as soon as he gets to the World Cup?
I'm saying, yeah, but maybe I am, because there's a line in the sand for a player's career, isn't there? Doesn't it come to a point where there's a tipping point?
No one knows how good he is because he's never been given a fair opportunity to see how. You know, it's like you've played that position the same as me, Coley. You only see the best of someone when you give them a run of games.
Yeah.
Gonzalo Ramos has had to sit for the last couple of tournaments behind Cristiano, regardless what form Cristiano's in. So his confidence at the minute is like, well, he's probably turned up to this World Cup thinking, well, if I get 5 minutes here or 5 minutes there, that's probably what's going to happen. That can't happen in the squad. You know, everyone's got to believe they've got an opportunity of playing. And if you're a striker in the Portuguese squad, you know what's coming.
Nobody has a God-given right to lead the line for their country, do they?
Yeah,
some do.
No, but they shouldn't. Nobody should have a God-given right.
Messi does.
No, Messi's earned it. Messi's there because of what he's delivered. He's not there.
Kane does. Kane.
Kane is there.
It's a God-given right, though.
Under Southgate, he did. Under Southgate, he did. But a stronger manager would have dropped Kane in Germany.
Listen, Martinez needs to work this team out properly to include Cristiano so he can score goals. And the players have to believe in that too.
Do you think that's the correct approach? So what you're effectively saying is Vitinha, João Neves, Bernardo Silva, Bruno Fernandes, they all have to aid Cristiano Ronaldo. The focus point has to be.
He deserves it.
Do you not think that Cristiano Ronaldo should sit on the bench and just watch these masterful footballers win games of football?
Yeah, but who's finishing it off?
Gonzalo Ramos.
That's what I got for you. That's what I got for me. That's a big drop off,
Bruno Fernandes scores goals. Like you could play a false nine. There's options.
That's one option I can say. We saw Spain win. It was at the Euros with a false nine. Was that the World Cup?
That's way back. The last one.
Yeah, so that we've seen it happen. So they can do that if you've got a good enough manager to be able to deploy that. But it's going down to Martinez again. Is he good enough to manage those top-class players? I'm not sure.
Let me ask you one question, Nicole. Just say for whatever reason Portugal only draw against Uzbekistan tonight, right? So they're left with 2 points. Ronaldo's had maybe a little bit more of an indifferent game. What do you do for the third game, knowing you have to win a game to get out of the group?
So everyone blames Ronaldo. What about the other players? Are they pulling their weight?
Okay, I understand that. So, but does Ronaldo stay in the team?
Yeah, but if it's Ronaldo's fault, but it's not his fault. It can't just be Ronaldo's fault.
You love Cristiano Ronaldo. You've been DMing me.
No, I love what he's given to the game, and I feel that he's earned his respect to this level where we can look at it and think, do you know what? He deserves this World Cup, and it's going to be his last one.
Is it? The next one's in Portugal, so I would not put it past him to be there for the next one.
There's no way.
You say that,
bro. He's been 50 by then, bro. He'll be 50. You're not having it, bro.
He's manager by that point. He puts himself player manager.
Nah, he ain't gonna be. He's gonna be in the round.
In Portugal.
Nah, he's not doing that. No. I won't condone that one. I won't condone that one. I'll give him this one. Yeah, but not that one.
Yeah. Cole, it's been a joy to chat to you. Thank you so much for finding the time to join us here. It's been absolutely brilliant. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Our huge thanks goes to Carlton Cole. Remember, he'll be alongside Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy on the Sports Bar special starting over on our YouTube channel at 9 p.m. tonight. You are listening to Game Day live on talkSPORT.
Lots has been made about the fitness or lack of for Declan Rice. He came off during the win over Croatia. He's played 63 matches this season and admitted that he's been nursing a hammy for the last 6 months. England legend Stuart Pearce, who coached Rice at West Ham, discussed Rice's fitness and his role at the World Cup.
It's a great challenge for him. You know, he's a team player, always has been magnificent as a team player. You take him off, he's not going into himself and sulking, you know. He'll see the greater good and the reasoning behind it. And if he's got anything about him that I think he has, when he's had bad moments at West Ham, when he was on his ascendancy, he'll embrace them and make him a better player.
For more reaction from Stuart Pearce, you can check out the World Cup Daily Podcast. Who play? I don't have a problem if Rice is injured tomorrow. Even if he's got a little niggle, I would not play him. That's why we've got a squad, right? Of
course.
Who'd you bring in? Is it Henderson? What do you do?
You could bring Henderson, or you could just play Bellingham next to Anderson and Rodgers as a 10.
Yeah.
I'm not being, no offence to Ghana, some very good players.
I totally agree. How
watching
strong is
Ghana
that?
in their first game, they're nothing to worry about. And that's just being as respectful as I can be about the Ghana side. We should not be playing anybody who's got a niggle. If it's Saka, if it's Rice, we've got the squad of players.
Even Kane in these games.
Okay, Watkins, you're in. Because every other team's doing it.
Yeah.
Look at Neymar, he's gone. He's not ready. Okay, wait till you're ready. Rafinha, he's now out to the latter stages. They're keeping him there to see if he's ready for the late stages of the tournament. Lamine Yamal come off because I played longer. You've had a niggle before the tournament. Let's take you off. It's all about managing the squad in a World Cup that's so long.
Yeah. Would you say out of the three, out of Rice, Bellingham and Kane, Rice is third on that list for most important players? I know that sounds wrong because he's so important to England, but would you rather lose him or Bellingham or him or Kane?
Yeah, I think you're right there. I think like Bellingham is that guy who's gonna get those important goals. We've seen what he's done in the Euros as well. Harry Kane, you cannot be without Harry Kane. But Declan Rice, like you says, we used to have no problems against Ghana and definitely no problems against Panama.
Yeah.
This might be the most iconic image in English sporting history, the moment Bobby Moore lifted the World Cup. It meant the flag of St George could forever be draped on the Jules Rimet, and Moore would be a hero always, despite the twists and turns of his eventful World Cup career. Bobby Moore went to the World Cup in 1962, but didn't play a single game. A year later, though, he was made England captain, leading the side as they built up to 66. But Moore might never have played in the tournament. He was in a contract dispute with West Ham and was technically a free agent. And an FA rule meant free agents were ineligible to play for England. Sir Ralph Ramsey stepped in and forced West Ham and Moore to sign a deal. Phew. Then, when the final came around, Moore might not have played in that either. According to Sir Geoff Hurst's autobiography, he overheard Sir Ralph discussing the idea of dropping Moore in favour of Norman Hunter to help deal with the German attack. But he stuck with Moore and didn't live to regret it. 4 years later, Moore was shrouded in controversy. On a pre-tournament team trip to Colombia, he was arrested, accused of stealing a bracelet from a gift shop, and placed under house arrest for 4 days. Perhaps the most famous match of that tournament was England's group game against Brazil, in which he made what's still described as the perfect tackle. It's so beautiful. After the game, another iconic image. The quarter-final defeat to West Germany would be his last World Cup match. England failed to qualify in '74 and Moore stepped away, leaving the most incredible legacy. He was made an inaugural inductee to the English Football Hall of Fame in 2002, and in 2007 this statue was unveiled of Moore outside the new Wembley Stadium. It was described as the finishing touch.
You are listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent. Live from the Dial in Greenwich. Still, what are you looking at?
You're right there, yeah?
What are you looking at?
Have you cleared your throat in that?
Yeah, mate, I was a little bit preoccupied. I'm terribly sorry.
How are them tenders, bro?
Do you know what? The tenders were lovely, but do you know what? I've done you a massive favour today.
Why?
I've done you such a favour,
How?
and you've just sold me down the river.
How? Please tell me what you've done.
The second that I'm not fully focused, you flag it.
Yeah. What did I do?
I haven't flagged. I know so much about you, and I haven't flagged anything.
Give me an example today.
Oh, really? You want to do this?
Yeah.
You want to do this?
Yeah.
How was drive yesterday? Did you enjoy it?
I know, but I came down to work because I was that keen, but I went in the wrong day.
Who doesn't know when they have a day off work?
You see my schedule.
What, you don't know if you have a day off work?
Listen,
you just turn up to work,
clear
hoping for the best,
chicken,
and there's no show.
Clear the chicken out your teeth first, and then start talking.
Fair point.
Yeah, have a little sip of juice, and then go from there.
That is a fair point. I'm sorry, somebody offered me a tender right at the wrong moment, and I couldn't help it. I couldn't resist. Still to come, we'll be speaking to Adrian Durham ahead of England against Ghana tonight, and of course, that game is live right here on talkSPORT.
Saka will take over after the last touch from Rodgers. In he comes from Rashford, keeping his feet and winning the game for England. England off to a winning start in the World Cup. 4-2 England.
Hit 4 goals, could have got more. The first game of any tournament, you take all the positives.
This is actually the first World Cup win for England against a side ranked inside the top 15 in the FIFA rankings since 2002.
Of course, everyone knows that we were not at our best level, so there's more to come. We have to improve.
This team in that second half just looked like a team that were just freed up.
I'm really convinced of Tuchel. He knows how to win trophies, so he knows how to win a tournament.
I felt the spirit and what it means to be part of a World Cup.
Ghana will show up because whoever plays against England, it's almost like it's their cup final.
And now Brandon Thomas Asante. It's a tight angle, but it's been converted by Caleb Yurichi. It's Ghana 1, Panama 0.
Oh, what a buzz it is. Listen to that, all to the soundtrack of Oasis as well. England can secure their place in the last 32 of the World Cup when we face Ghana live on talkSPORT. It's a 9 p.m. kickoff, and all of that build-up will start with Adrian Durham when we finish at 7 p.m. Now, in a moment, we're going to hear from England midfielder Declan Rice, but first, Portugal have just kicked off against Uzbekistan. That game is live over on talkSPORT 2, but we're going to get an early update now with Ian Abrahams.
5 minutes gone, Portugal 0, Uzbekistan 0, but Portugal could be 2 up already inside 3 minutes. Good move down the right-hand side. Bruno Fernandes and Manchester United 12 yards out, leaning slightly back. His shot was always probably going over, took a flick of a defender and did go for a corner. And then a minute later, João Felix down the left-hand side sent a peach of a ball inside the 6-yard box. Ronaldo, every single day of the week, would score this. He couldn't, though, get on the end of it and score. It's Portugal 0, Uzbekistan. Oh, Portugal scored! Portugal have got ahead. It is Ronaldo. Ball in from the right-hand side, and Ronaldo sweeping it home. 6 minutes gone. He's always the man we talk about, and for good reason now. Portugal 1, Uzbekistan 0. Ronaldo with the goal. Live on talkSPORT 2.
Game Day live update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
That is an absolute disaster. Portugal 1-0 up, and that's not what the bit that is a disaster. The goal scorer is Cristiano
You feel it, didn't you?
Ronaldo.
I told you had to start.
Painful.
Told you had to start.
Painful. And that is all thanks to Burger King. And remember, that game is live right now over on talkSPORT 2. I'm gutted, Darren.
Do you know what? When you got to give credit where credit's due, the finish is incredible because they cut it back to him and he just swivels on it and hits it. But the celebration, running to his teammates on the bench as well, fair play to him.
Yeah.
Look at him. Look how angry he is.
Yeah, he's very aware of the PR.
Your DMs are going to be full tonight. Absolutely full.
Yeah, there is no doubt about that. Right, one of the big questions, though, coming into England's game against Ghana tonight has been over the fitness of midfielder Declan Rice after he went off in the opening game against Croatia. And ahead of tonight's game, he's been speaking to our very own Faker Uppers.
Declan, first of all, how are you? You knew that was going to be my first question, didn't you? Are you okay?
Yeah.
As in your injury, not in life.
No, I know, I'm all good. I think it's been blown a bit out of proportion now for the last few days. That's all I've seen. So, yeah, I'm all good. I'm raring to go. I've trained every day since the game. So, yeah, there's no problems.
Listen, we're all glad to hear that. We know how integral you are to this team, as is Bukayo Saka as well. Noni Madueke came in and did a brilliant job the other day, obviously, but there are concerns over Bukayo's fitness. Thomas says he's fit and raring to go as well. As someone who plays with him for club as well as country, how important is he?
Oh, well, you only have to look at what he's done in an England shirt at major tournaments and in normal games, and also what he's done in an Arsenal shirt from a young age. Incredible player, very, very important, and when he's at his best and when he's firing, he's one of the best in the world. So we want to fit Bukayo Saka, we want to ready Bukayo Saka, but also on the other hand, that's why you have players in the squad like Noni who've made a massive difference. Costa Rica game, in the warm-up game, he was very, very good, and the other night again, a constant threat all game, wanted to take on his man direct. So yeah, it's really good competition in that area of the pitch.
Yeah, it's really important to protect players as well, isn't it, especially in the group stage. What would you say in terms of a mentality piece do the players feel about wanting to get this win under the belt and qualify so that you qualify with a game to spare? How important is that?
Yeah, so important. I think Harry touched base on it earlier that the last few tournaments we've obviously drawn our second games, and obviously tomorrow's not a time for that, you know. We know tomorrow's going to be a really tough game against good opposition with strong players, so we need to be on it from the first whistle, same intensity, same desire to win, and yeah, 6 points in the group will put us in a really good position going forward, and that's what we set out to do, so we'll be ready for that tomorrow.
Yeah, you know many of the players. What are you expecting from them tomorrow?
Well, we've watched a few of their last couple of games, the last 2 or 3. Just there's not really much to go off because they changed their manager. Direct team, really strong, really good on counter-attacks. Obviously has some key players who make the game for them. So yeah, look, it's one of them. You can't go into it half-hearted. You know, tomorrow's a game where you go the extra mile, the extra step, ensuring that you get over the line. And that's what the manager's told us that we're going to have to do tomorrow to win this match. So yeah, we'll be ready.
Declan Rice has also revealed that he's been playing through a hamstring nerve pain for the last 6 months. He's played 63 matches this season and has called the schedule for players crazy. Benty, how good is it to hear that Declan Rice is feeling fit and strong after going off in that first game against Croatia?
Yeah, it's imperative because I think he's been one of England's better players. You know what he can do, driving engine from midfield. He's got that really good link between Elliot Anderson as well with Jude Bellingham, and that's our best 3 in my opinion. But you need Declan Rice. I mean, he plays so many minutes, so many games. I mean, of course, being an Arsenal fan and watching him this season, the energy and the drive that he plays with every single week, it shocks me that he hasn't picked up more injuries the amount of minutes that he plays. But the fact that he's fit now and he feels hungry and he's firing for England, it's huge.
Yeah. Do you think it's fair to say, you know, when we started having to think about life potentially without him, so there was talk that he was injured, there was talk of this back injury, we started to have conversations around life without Declan Rice. What does it mean? Does it mean Kobe Mainoo comes in? Does it mean Jordan Henderson comes in? Does it mean that there is a complete rejig of that midfield? It suddenly became apparent to me how important he is, because without him, it's a completely different midfield, isn't it? It will not be as effective without Declan Rice.
And of course, he's the engine. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people may compare him in terms of his numbers and may think to themselves where when he's playing that 8 role, he probably should have more goals, more assists. But his quality is there for everyone to see. I mean, his set plays are incredible. I mean, he got another one in the first game. The drive to break up play, to drive the team forward, to create opportunities as well. He's just a player that we can't replace him. I mean, you look throughout the team and you go, yes, Harry Kane, I get it. There's certain positions in the team that you go, probably can't replace them. I think Declan Rice is definitely in that camp.
How high do you rate him at the World Cup? Like, you know, if you look at the midfield, so, for example, we've got the Portugal game on at the moment. We're watching an outrageously gifted midfield here. Bruno Fernandes is in it, João Neves is in it. There are some... Vitinha, obviously a beautiful footballer. Across the entire World Cup, is Declan Rice one of the best footballers in his position in the entire tournament?
I think so, yeah. I mean, some people may put him at the top, some people may not. But in terms of, again, you look at the top 5, he's in there for me, because of what he gives the team. And it's not only what he gives the team, it's that he does that work that no one really wants to do sometimes in terms of the out of possession, where you get some midfield players that with the ball at their feet, they're wonderful, they're magicians. But with him sometimes, not only is he good on the ball, but out of possession as well, when he's running back, when one of his teammates has given it away, when he's getting into the right position, when he's breaking up players well. He's the all-round midfield player, and the only thing you'd say about him is, can he add more assists and goals to his game? If he could do that, then, wow.
Having listened to him there, do you think he starts tonight?
Yeah. Yeah, he's one of those. It's because he's so durable. He pretty much starts most games for England, so I would be shocked if he wasn't playing tonight.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's brilliant news to hear Declan Rice sounding like he is in fine form and hungry to play at the World Cup for England. You are listening to World Cup Game Day live with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Now, still to come, we'll head into the stadium for a chat with Adrian Durham ahead of England versus Ghana live on talkSPORT tonight. Next, though, we're going to get an update from the Scotland camp.
You can tell me a little bit more about training, though, because you know we're not privy to that much, open training. We got 15 minutes yesterday at very close quarters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm going to say, don't you? Because there was a moment where Thomas was walking around. He's a meticulous planner. He demands standards, and he said, "Jed, do better."
Yeah.
What was that like?
Yeah, I think it's normal. He's a great manager, and he wants the best from his players. And he demands high standards. And for this tournament, we need to be ready. We need to be on it. So I think every session needs to be of the highest quality, and that's what he demands. And it's good.
But when you hear that,
Yeah.
and obviously you're in front of all of us as well, what does it make you immediately do? Oh God, I didn't think I was on it. What's the feeling?
No feeling really. I wouldn't be the only one he says it to. It's everyone else, So it's no feeling. It's just a part of the game. If he needs me to do whatever, I'll do it. So it's not. It's just part of the game, really.
And what is he like behind the scenes? And what's he like as a manager?
Yeah, I think he's a great manager. He's a great guy. Very, very detailed in what he wants to do, and yeah, I think the boys really love him and have a great respect for him.
And where does that come from? Because we watch him on the training pitch. I get to speak to him regularly, and he loves you all as players. There's something in that, isn't there, of what he gives you and then what you give him back.
Give back. Yeah, I think it's like what he always says. We're building a family here, and we've built a family, and we built a brotherhood within the team, and everyone's all got one dream, one brain. So yeah, I think if everyone's on the same path, we can do special things, and I feel he's built that environment in the squad.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. We're coming to you live from the Dial in Greenwich, the home of Meantime. talkSPORT have teamed up with Meantime to create a lager for the World Cup. So good lager. As well as being poured from this very venue, it will be available in some of the best sports pubs across the UK. You can find your nearest pub by visiting our website, 18+. Please drink responsibly. Now, still to come, we're going to be speaking to Adrian Durham ahead of England against Ghana tonight. But just quickly, Arsenal are confident of beating Chelsea and Manchester United to the £100 million signing of Morgan Rogers. And Portugal are in action against Uzbekistan right now over on talkSPORT 2. Let's get an update with Ian Abrahams.
Portugal 2, Uzbekistan 0. Cristiano Ronaldo, after 6 minutes, coming to the World Cup party, and a free kick 10 minutes later awarded after Pedro Neto had been fouled right on the edge of the penalty area, and Ronaldo's name written all over it. But probably for the first time in his entire career, he decided to let somebody else take it. That was PSG's Nuno Mendes, and he bent it left-footed around the wall low. The goalkeeper, I think, could do a whole lot better, but it's ended up in the back of the net, not quite in the corner, but not far off it. And Ronaldo, being generous, has now given a teammate a goal. Portugal 2, Uzbekistan 0. In Houston, live on talkSPORT 2, Fabio Caravano's team have got a real problem.
Game Day live update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
I maybe heard the noise, you know, because letting someone else take the free kick, his mannerisms. I mean, when they scored that second goal as well, he's run past the crowd, like almost pointing to his head, going, "Do you know what I mean?" Like, I can't do all this kind of stuff. So, fair play to him.
Do you think he's kind of adopted the right mentality now?
Maybe. I mean, it's surprising to see how long it goes on for, but there's certainly a change, because that free kick there, in the D, on the edge of the box, 9 times out of 10,
he's
we know exactly who's telling
the ball, isn't
he? Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Thanks so much as well to Burger King, and remember that game is live right now over on talkSPORT 2. Right, now we're going to head out and about, and we're going to soak up the atmosphere here at the Dial. talkSPORT reporter Max Scott is speaking to the fans. Max, what have you got for us, sir?
Come on, England! Well, Rory, I'm sorry to say, but for your viewing and listening pleasure, I'm here at the home of Meantime, talkSPORT Lager in Greenwich, and I've found some Portugal fans, because as we know, Cristiano Ronaldo's just scored. Tell me, how does it feel, Carlos, that you're speaking now to Rory Jennings, who had a £5 bet that Ronaldo wouldn't score in this tournament? Must feel good for you.
It feels amazing. The real GOAT just scored. It clearly is the real GOAT, so Rory knows deep down, but it's just, you know, he's just trying to get clicks. It's fine. So good.
Mario, Ronaldo, there's been a lot of criticism. He's not scored as many goals as Messi. Do you think people have gone too quickly with the criticism, or do you think, yeah, he's a spent force, he's a bit old, and he's only scored against Uzbekistan?
No, I won't say he's a bit old. It's like we need to give it a time, like, for him to, you know, warm up a little bit. Now it's second game, so he's scored already. You know, it is what it is. Football is always like that. So he's allowed to criticize, but, you know, I think people who doesn't like Ronaldo, they talk about him like that, but I think it's unfair. The guy's been doing so good, you know.
He's been doing it in the desert in Saudi Arabia, and he's only scored against Uzbekistan, Carlos.
Well, Messi is in a burger league. No one knows who he plays against. So I would say it's the same. Hence why he's way more prepared than Ronaldo. He's 41. What do you expect? How many 41-year-olds you know can play 90 minutes?
It's a good point. But you are also, you've got a soft spot for England. What do you think about England's chances headed into this game against Ghana?
I mean, for me, England will win. I'm predicting a 2-0 win. Harry Kane will score 100%. Bellingham, I think he'll do the job. To be fair, I think he's England's golden boy, in my personal opinion. Saka's great, don't get me wrong, but I think Kane it's just his time. He's in his prime. If he doesn't do it this time, I don't think he'll get a chance to.
He's looking unbelievable. Can I get a score prediction for England tonight? I know you'll be watching keenly.
I think it's going to be like 2-0. Kane is going to score. It will be a penalty, of course, you know. I love my best player from England, like my daughter love it, is like Saka. I think he's going to score. I mean, yeah.
Rory, there's positive vibes, even though you've lost £5 to charity against Piers Morgan, and Ronaldo has got his goal, albeit against Uzbekistan. Vibes are positive there. Come on, England! Come on, England!
Lovely stuff there, Max Scott. Thank you very much for that. Now, Scotland will be aiming to make it out of the group stages when they face Brazil live on talkSPORT at 11 p.m. tomorrow. And ahead of that one, our very own Shabana Hearn has been getting the thoughts of the Tartan Army who are out in Miami.
Tell me your prediction for Scotland-Brazil.
2-1 Scotland.
1-0 Scotland. Super John McGinn.
Wouldn't it be great to just have a moment like that?
Right, it's coming. It's happening.
Slot haven't been drinking at all, have they?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I genuinely think, I maybe been optimistic as a Scotland fan, but I do think that we can hold them. I mean, we held Morocco after a bad start.
Yeah.
And I think we can hold the Brazilians, yeah. And they're not playing brilliantly just now, so.
The only thing that we might struggle with is the heat, I think, honestly. It's watching Brazil against Haiti the other day, felt like really good. And we were in Boston for the Morocco game and the Haiti game, and the guys played well enough, but Brazil just look next level still, so I think we're going to struggle, but you've got to have some confidence, don't you?
What do you reckon here, Darren? The Tartan Army, they're out in Miami now. They seem like they believe. Can you see Scotland getting anything out of the game against Brazil tomorrow night?
Well, I think a lot depends on what Brazil turns up. I mean, if the Brazil turns up against Haiti, against first game of the season against Morocco, then you'd go, the Scots have got a chance, but I mean, it's still going to be an uphill battle, isn't it? Because I wouldn't say Scotland, up until this point, have played particularly well. I know they beat Haiti, which is what they had to do, but I wouldn't say their performance in that game was great. They played better against Morocco, but I still feel it was quite comfortable for Morocco. And then when you talk about the 2 penalty decisions that maybe they could have got Scotland, but Brazil's a different kettle of fish. I think if Brazil turn up and play anywhere near the Brazil that we know, there's only one winner.
Yeah, okay.
So they're going to have to ride their luck. They're going to have to play. They might have to put in their best display under Steve Clarke ever to win this game.
Yeah, a point would be enough for them.
Yeah.
Can you see them getting a draw?
But it's one of them where when you start, is it 3-0? I think it could be 3. It's definitely one of them where you go for Brazil that if they're at it and their players start firing, Scotland will find it very difficult. But we've seen it again. Once the Tartan Army get behind Scotland and they really start to kind of apply the pressure and they start to get moments, you just never know. And you've got to say, in this type of scenario, all the pressure's on Brazil.
Yeah, also, Scotland did well, didn't they? Because in the game where they got beat, they only got beat by 1.
Yeah, didn't get pumped.
No, exactly. So, in terms of being, like, the best third-place finishers, they still have a chance of that. Just make sure that it doesn't get too heavy.
It feels like, and listen, I've not got the fixtures in front of me in terms of their last 30 games, but just sitting here and kind of thinking about Scotland playing, they very rarely get pumped nowadays, do they? Do you know what I mean? Some of the big results, they beat Spain, they beat big teams. So I think this is probably the best squad they've had for some time, but this is a different level.
Keep it tight and hope for the best.
Yeah, hope for the best, but also as well, you've got to implement your game tactics going forward as well, so it's going to be a fascinating game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, still to come, we're going to be speaking to Adrian Durham ahead of England against Ghana live on talkSPORT tonight. But first, it's time for No Googling. Lionel Messi is the 3rd player to score in 6 successive World Cup games. We want to know who are the other 2. Lionel Messi has scored in 6 successive World Cup games. He is the 3rd player to do it. Tell us who the other 2 are. We'll tell you after this.
Probably there's a deeper thing here, which is we're so used to talking about starting 11s and who starts, right? And in tournament football, really what you should be talking about is who's going to finish those games. I really like how the whole squad now walks out for the national anthem, because I think now more than ever in modern football, it seems to be a squad game. Like if you look at Arsenal's Champions League final, for example, I think 3 of their first 5 penalty takers that they had marked down weren't on the pitch at the end of the game. So really, I don't really think so much about starting 11s anymore. You think about the whole squad and who can make an impact. And I think Rashford just looked great when he came on. Elliot Anderson really impressed me as well, actually. I thought he just looked so composed, so together. Gay was a shock. I'm sure you were surprised by that as well. I just thought he was nailed on to start. I was sort of thinking, who's going to start alongside Gay, really? But I personally wouldn't change anything. And I mean, I don't know, but as an England fan, I just feel it's just such a privilege watching Harry Kane, I think. I just think he's just the most gifted footballer. I think he's just amazing. And I'm watching him now, he's starting to remind me of those kind of later Man United years of Teddy Sheringham. Do you remember when Teddy Sheringham used to drop deep and just start passing balls around, and you're like, the joy of a player who, in the earlier days of his career, didn't necessarily solely rely on his pace, means that you sort of cultivate, you learn a different game. And I think we, as a nation, are absolutely reaping the rewards of that now. So personally, Gabby, I wouldn't make any changes because I think the whole squad is the team. I think we have to stop thinking about starting 11s, really, and start thinking about the entirety of the squad.
The German leading England. It all sounds a little bit odd, but as Thomas Tuchel tries to bring football home, here's how he ended up in one of the most scrutinised jobs in sport. Well, Tuchel started his footballing journey in the sleepy town of Krimbach. His leadership skills were obvious from an early age, with Tuchel even making subs during PE volleyball sessions. After a knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart U setup in 2000. He led the club's under-19s to their league title 5 years later, but his perceived abrasive personality meant Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract. He went on to spend 5 years at the helm at Mainz before leaving the club for Dortmund. And there, Tuchel secured his first major trophy, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more pieces of silverware came next for Tuchel in just 5 seasons at PSG, Chelsea and Bayern Munich. And that CV impressed the top brass at the FA.
We found so many similarities and so many things that suited my approach and my hunger to achieve special things. I always wanted to come back to England.
Well, he says all the right things, but is destiny on Tuchel's side?
At the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line.
Come on, keep going.
What, the whole thing? Defender and attack. There's only one way to beat them. Unbelievable. It's unrivaled, isn't it? It's the best England song by a mile.
Yeah.
It's also stood the test of time so much better than anything else.
You think?
Yeah, it's a great tune, isn't it? Like New Order are genuinely a brilliant band.
Yeah, the outtakes always make me laugh when you hear the other players. Is it Peter Beardsley?
Keith Allen sort of trying to dance around the back. No, it's brilliant. It really is wonderful. You're listening to World Cup Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent, live from the Dial in Greenwich, the home of Meantime. A few moments ago, we brought you the final no Googling question of the day. We asked, Lionel Messi is the third player to score in six successive World Cup games. We want to know who are the other two. Any answers here, Darren Bent?
So I think Fontaine.
Just Fontaine in 1958. Well played.
Fontaine was 58?
Yeah. Well, that's when he scored. That's when he scored in 6 successive games.
Was it? I'd say, do you know what the other one would be? Now, off the top of my head, I'm going 1917. The only reason why I'm thinking is, well, you play, 7 games in a World Cup? Jarzinho's the only player ever to score every game.
Go on, Darren Bent, you are correct.
And he's Brazilian. All right, look at... All right, Joe, really?
That's
a tap-in. Jarzinho's a tap-in.
Jarzinho is correct.
I can't even tell you what all his goals were like.
I can't say... what do you reckon here, Joe?
Hey, Brazil,
our producer is suggesting foul play, but for a moment I was incredibly impressed.
I've not come off of that.
For a moment I was very impressed. I don't know. I can't judge you. You can judge yourself. Following us from 7 p.m, Adrian Durham hosts live coverage of England's second group game as they take on Ghana. But now there's been some more drama in the game between Portugal and Uzbekistan live over on talkSPORT 2. Let's hear all about it with Ian Abrahams.
Portugal 2, Uzbekistan 0, but Uzbekistan thought they'd scored. Wonderful goal, actually, by Geniev. A shot from 20 yards out into the top corner. No chance for the keeper on this one, but a foul in the build-up on João Cancelo on the edge of the box was spotted by VAR. I have to say, rightly, the goal was chalked off by the referee. By the way, you mentioned 6 goals in the World Cup. Well, Cristiano Ronaldo today has become the first player to score in 6 World Cups. I know it cost you a bit of money, Rory, so I didn't really want to mention that. Live on talkSPORT 2, Portugal 2, Uzbekistan 0.
Game Day live update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Cheers, Moose. That's all thanks to Burger King. And remember, that game is live over on talkSPORT 2 right now. Right, now we're going to cross to the Boston Stadium and speak to talkSPORT's voice of live football. It's Adrian Durham, ahead of England against Ghana. Good evening, Adrian.
Rory, Darren, how are you doing? Rory, really loved your rap in there, but I'm glad they cut you short. I'm in the stadium, high up in the stands in Boston. I have to say, it's a pretty awful stadium. It's spectacular, but in terms of football, every seat is completely exposed, and we've had some heavy rain here today.
Hey, you've got to take it a little bit easy on Rory, to be fair. I feel for him because he just lost a $5,000 bet with... who did the go with? Piers Morgan, was it?
The bet with Piers Morgan, yes, I owe...
That Ronaldo wouldn't score a goal in this tournament, and, well, that's been put to bed, Aid.
Yeah, he slammed it in, didn't he? It was a really good finish. Stupid bet, really. But then that's Rory, isn't it, I suppose? I mean, $5,000 it's a drop in the ocean to him anyway. So, I mean, that's like an hour's work, half an hour's work in the morning, isn't it, for him?
This couldn't be further from the truth. I'm absolutely gutted, but you are right, Adrian. It was an exceptional finish. How's the atmosphere building over in the stadium, though? I know you said it wasn't the best ground. Does it feel vibrant? Is there a good travelling support from England?
Well, for this particular game, there will always be good travelling support. I don't know if you're aware, but before I did this role, hosting England games for talkSPORT, which is an absolute privilege, and I'm very proud to do it. I travelled with England. I was an England fan, and I know you were, Rory, as well. So, and you still are. But it's there's always fantastic travelling support with England. They'll never let anything dampen the spirits. But this is testing them to the full. It's some way out of Boston itself, about an hour's drive from Boston itself, and really tough conditions. To be happy, really, because you are going to get soaked through. Everything's going to be really expensive. So they need the players to put on a good performance, and I think that's exactly what the England players will do today. It's one of those days, it doesn't happen very often, where I am 100% confident in England this afternoon.
So, hey, saying that, we saw obviously the performance against Croatia. Certainly the second half was what everyone's talking about, the way they played. Are you expecting many changes this evening? And also, what level do you think they can go to, this England team? Because they were brilliant in that second half. Do you think they've got more gears to go?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you think about all the chances that they missed early in that second half, it could have been about 5 or 6 in that period alone. So they had a lot of chances, need to be absolutely ruthless and clinical with those chances. So, yeah, there's other gears to go to in terms of the finishing. And they can play like that for longer periods in the game as well. So, yeah, there's stuff to build on for sure. I think a couple of issues defensively we saw with the goals. There were good goals scored by Croatia, but poor goals to concede. Show me a goal, I'll show you a mistake. Well, there were quite a few for those mistakes for those Croatia goals. And maybe, just maybe, there might be changes at the back. I'm not sure. Declan Rice has had his injury issues, but then he was put in front of the media yesterday, which suggests, without being confirmation, that he will start. So that's an interesting one to watch. Defensively, John Stones got done. He went to ground very early for one of the goals, so I'm wondering if there might be a change there. Would Mark Gahey get a chance? And there has been this little rumour in the last 24 hours that Jed Spence will start the game because he is absolutely rapid, as we know, and I think they need to counter Antoine Semenyo, who got FIFA's Player of the Match in Ghana's 1-0 win over Panama, but I was speaking to talkSPORT's Ghana fan, Kwaku Afari, who said to me he was surprised he got that award because he didn't play particularly well. We know he's got levels to go to, and hopefully it won't be here in Boston today.
Adrian, obviously when we're watching games, we're watching it through the lens of England, but when you're out there, you can absorb it in a slightly different way. You're covering loads of games, you've seen the atmosphere, you're getting a real feel of what the fans are expecting from their team. Have you seen anyone that has stood out to you? Obviously we've seen some excellent performances, but who do you see as standing in the way of England winning this World Cup?
Lionel Messi is the main one. I mean, he's just so unbelievably good. I would say he is the main one. I've got a feeling, I know not many have talked about Norway in terms of going all the way, but I just like the look of them. You know, they're kind of basic 4-4-2. They all know their jobs. They all know they've got a goal machine up front. They've even got a goal scorer alongside him up front. So I'm thinking that they should go deeper. A lot will depend on the draw, and we won't know that full draw for the round of 32 until possibly even the last ball is kicked in the group stage, because there's so many different permutations. So, you know, England could get Portugal, for example, or they could get DR Congo. You know, it's hard to predict what's going to happen until those games are done. So the draw could make a little bit of a difference if you get paired with somebody really tough. So, for example, Scotland might have Germany. You know, it's so tough to predict. But in terms of individuals and teams that could stop England, Messi and Argentina, absolutely, from what we've seen so far, have that ability. I'd watch out for the Germans because Undav seems to be in crazy form off the bench. So I think that's a really interesting one. And yeah, there's usual suspects. Spain had a false start but then got going. So yeah, and France have Mbappe. And any of those sides with goal scorers, you've got to be alert to what they do, and especially with England's defending not being its strong point.
Do you know what, Aid? They worry me a little bit, the Germans, because as you said there, nobody's talking about them. Everyone's talking about France and Spain and England and Brazil. No one's really talking about Germany. And I'm watching them, certainly in their last game against Ivory Coast, I thought they were, the way they kind of turned it around and they started to play, they're almost a dark horse, which sounds crazy because they've won 4 World Cups, but you understand what I mean when I say dark horse with the Germans.
Yeah, well, they've got good players, and I think that's worth bearing in mind. And then they have players who you wouldn't consider to be elite world class, like Undav, for example, who can make an impact, who can contribute. You know, players in the squad who can make that little bit of a difference. So if you're asking me to say, can Germany go on and win it? No, but can they cause team problems? Yeah, absolutely they can on any given day. I just don't think necessarily they've got the consistency to do it over the course of 6 weeks, which is what will be needed to win this World Cup. And we saw that really against the Ivory Coast, that they were second best for periods of that game. And then you could even argue they got very, very lucky towards the end of the game and managed to snatch a winner when a draw might have been fair.
Amazing work there, Adrian Darren. Thank you so much for joining us. Buzzing for tonight. Cheers. Sing up. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, yeah.
Right,
come on, England.
Get another goal. There has been another goal between Portugal and Uzbekistan. Let's hear from Ian Abrahams.
Yeah, in Houston, it's Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0. Lucky that nobody put a charity bet on Cristiano Ronaldo not to score in this World Cup. He got 2 inside 38 minutes. The first after 6 minutes, and the second, this was a lovely goal too. Ball picked up by Portugal just inside their own half, and a pass out to the right-hand side just at the right moment to release Ronaldo into the box, and he fired low across the goalkeeper into the back of the net. Ronaldo has 2, Portugal have 3. It's live on talkSPORT 2, Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0.
Game Day live update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
How you feeling, Rory? Because boy, 10 large has cost you, innit? 10 large.
I've just been roasted by the moose. It's a new low.
Do you know what though? You've got to play fair play to him, because first game you can't hide away from the fact he was non-existent.
Yeah.
This game he's looked sharp as they come. You know he's getting his hat-trick, right? You fully understand that. He's giving people free kicks. He's passing the ball in the edge of the box. He's heard the noise.
Yeah, I think
the
you are
noise.
right, and he's certainly answered. Never doubt the great man. Who knew?
Oh, you are all over the
Who
gaff.
knew?
Matt, don't doubt the great man.
Well, look, it's not that he's not great. I'm saying that he's not great anymore, and I doubted that. But two goals against the might of Uzbekistan.
Would you take him at Chelsea now?
No, of course
no,
not.
right now.
He can't play Premier League football.
No, right now.
Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah.
At Chelsea?
Yeah, as a striker.
Obviously not. Obviously, he wouldn't touch a ball in the Premier League.
Right, fair enough.
Obviously not.
Delap. My God.
He's better than Delap, to be fair. In fairness, he is better than Delap. Right, that was all thanks to Burger King. And remember that Portugal against Uzbekistan is live over on talkSPORT 2 right now. Now, though, we do have a bit of breaking news this evening. talkSPORT understands that Jed Spence is set to start for England tonight against Ghana. We also understand that Mark Gahey could return to the starting 11 tonight. Jed Spence in the starting lineup, Darren.
Yeah, surprised, but obviously the pace that he's got, and I've been hearing, watching interviews with him all week, talking about he thinks he's the quickest in the squad. But Mark Gahey's what makes sense to me.
Gahey,
because he should have started.
Gahey is actually an example of Tuchel getting it wrong in the first game.
We did get it wrong because they still won, but Mark Gahey would have been the one that I started with. But the Jed Spence one is interesting, so it'd be interesting to see, because he can play either, can't he?
You can make a mistake in a victory, though, right? Like, he got it wrong, he put it right, and that's almost better. He was pragmatic and he found a solution. But our two centre-halves were both at fault for the 2 goals that were scored. So I think he must acknowledge that's an error, and he's put it right by bringing Gahey in, and I think that one makes complete sense.
I don't know where Jed's going to play. Jed Spence left or right. That's because he can play both. Like, I've seen him play really well left back and right back. So it depends.
It would have to be left back, wouldn't it? Because Reece James will start right back, surely.
Right, is Reece James carrying a knock? Can he play consecutive games? You know what I mean? That's the issue you've got. But I mean, Jed Spence, like, going forward, he does give you something different, because that pace is one thing in the game that you can't mark is speed.
And he just loves to defend.
And he's got that in abundance.
He's a natural defender. He loves to defend. So yeah, it'd be very interesting to see. Will he be left back or will he be right back? Now it's time to hear some of your shared takes with Burger King.
Shared takes on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Total tournament satisfaction delivered by the experts. Order now on the BK app.
Yeah, that's right. Earlier in the show, we asked for your voice notes on if Thomas Tuchel should make any changes for tonight's game against Ghana. And, of course, you have delivered. Let's hear a few of them now.
Jordan Pickford, he shouts at people that aren't there. Whenever he's been animated, it's usually because he's let a ball slip through his hands.
Costas from Cyprus. Bottom line, defences win matches, defences win tournaments.
I'm really against the fact that he shouldn't be in the team. If anything, he's one of the first players on the team sheet. He's been nothing but consistent.
I do agree with Troy Deeney, but that's not because Pickford's a bad goalie. Steve just looked that little bit suspect when he's put under pressure.
All right, Nathan here, Burnley fan, unfortunately.
Go on, go.
That there was all thanks to Burger King.
Shared takes on talkSPORT with Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
You're listening to Game Day live on talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings, and Darren Bent.
This is Olivia Bazaglo. I'm guessing just after Messi has either scored or the final whistle has been blown. Have a listen.
I have just watched Lionel Messi become the all-time leading goal scorer in World Cup history. As literally I look right in front of me, there is still such a huge section of Argentina fans, and I can't even explain to you what it's like in a stadium when all of these people are just worshipping Messi. It's literally the closest you will ever get to God, I swear, in football form. I don't know if you can hear the fans. There's a whole stand of them still jumping, still singing, still holding up a banner of Maradona and Messi on one. I cannot even describe to you, like, the feeling of seeing that happen when you've watched this player all my life. How lucky are we that we've all lived at the same time as Lionel Messi?
That message only goes on for another 9 hours. So you
had to
get her thoughts together. Yeah, that's the longest edit ever of a voice
You know what,
note.
though, mate? She told me she was going to the World Cup and said she's going to watch Argentina. And I said to her before she went, Lou, I says, one of the best things you do. The energy you feel in that stadium. I went to the Argentina-Mexico game in the Qatar World Cup, mate. I had nosebleed seats, but like Argentinian fans everywhere. And it felt like you're in company of a god.
Yeah, cool.
It felt the fans.
Yeah.
It feels like, mate, you're in a 90-minute concert. A 90-minute Messi concert. And it's one of the best concerts you'll ever go to. If anybody's over in America, Canada, or Mexico, and you get a chance to go and watch Messi.
Hello, I'm Matt Forden from talkSPORT. This is How to Win the World Cup.
This is the best squad I think England have ever had.
He used to love America, now he doesn't. It's very sad.
It was so important to succeed because of all the pressure we received.
Don't jump for this one, I'm going to knock his head off.
Warning, this podcast does not guarantee England will actually win anything.
talkSPORT with me, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. We're coming to you live from the Dial in Greenwich, the home of Meantime. Following us from 7 p.m. tonight, Adrian Durham hosts live coverage of England's second group game as they take on Ghana. And a reminder, talkSPORT understands that Jed Spence and Mark Gahey will be in the starting 11 for England tonight. Now, the best place to be watching England versus Ghana tonight is obviously at the official talkSPORT fan zone. We've teamed up with Aston Villa to create a fan zone at the Sports Illustrated warehouse at Villa Park for every single England game this summer. And we can head over there now to speak to tonight's fan zone host. Our very own Dean Saunders is with us. Good evening, Dean.
Morning, lads. Can you hear me?
Yeah, good morning,
okay.
Dean. If that's... yeah, how are you?
Sorry, good evening. I'm all right, yeah. This is unbelievable, by the way. I'm at Aston Villa's ground, in the car park, in the fan zone. What a production. It's heaving with Villa fans already. And I'm sure, like, they're hoping Concert plays. They're hoping that Ollie Watkins and Rodgers get on the pitch tonight. But it is buzzing.
Well, and how's the atmosphere building, Dean?
Well, yeah, it's packed already. 9 o'clock kickoff, but get yourself down. This is just an unbelievable production. There's talkSPORT everywhere, the biggest screen in Europe, and there's Villa fans streaming in. By the way, there's a few Birmingham fans. There's 2 or 3 of them in Birmingham. If they want to come, they can come as well.
Yeah. Amazing stuff. Dean Saunders, have a wonderful night tonight. I bet it's going to be incredible in there. Thank you for joining us. That is
no problem.
Dean Saunders, who is tonight's fan zone host, coming from the Sports Illustrated warehouse at Villa Park. I bet it's buzzing in there, don't you think, Darren?
Yeah, I mean, the delay was incredible there with Dino, wasn't it? But, you know, I've obviously spent a little bit of time at Villa Park and that's the Villa Football Club. Yeah, it'd be absolutely, like, buzzing, the atmosphere. Obviously, a couple of Villa players in there as well. Yeah, it'd be nice to actually check out a game down there. Obviously, hoping that England progress. It'd be nice to check out a little game down
good
there.
atmosphere, no doubt. Right, Portugal are in action against Uzbekistan right now, over on talkSPORT 2. Let's get an update with Ian Abrahams.
All about one man. Half-time, Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0. 2 goals for Ronaldo and only denied a hat-trick on the cusp of half-time by a goal-line clearance. His first came on 6 minutes. João Cancelo down the right-hand side, whipping the ball in for Ronaldo to sweep home 6 yards out. His second came on 38, sent clear by Bruno Fernandes. He slotted it past the goalkeeper to the goalkeeper's right-hand side into the bottom corner of the net, and right on half-time, inside the box, a little flick over the keeper, which, as I say, was cleared off the line. The third Portugal goal, Ronaldo should have taken a free kick on the edge of the box for the first time in his career. Probably decided to let a teammate do it, Nuno Mendes, and he found the corner of the net. The goalkeeper, though, didn't cover himself in glory. Uzbekistan rightly had a goal disallowed for a foul, blinding goal though it was. It didn't count, and at half-time Portugal have this game won. The only question, can Ronaldo, who gave the likes of Mbappe and Messi and also Haaland a head start, can he get his hat-trick in the second half? Half-time, Portugal 3, Uzbekistan 0, live on talkSPORT 2.
Game Day live update on talkSPORT. Brought to you by Burger King Burger Buddies. Iconic winners delivered in the box every time. Order now on the BK app.
Right, and for the final time this evening, it's time to head out and about and soak up the atmosphere here at the Dial. talkSPORT reporter Max Scott is speaking to the fans. Max, what's going on out there?
Well, thankfully, Rory, we've left the Portugal fans giving it the big one because Ronaldo scored 2 goals against Uzbekistan. We're returning to normality. England against Ghana with Mark and Louise. And Louise, I'm going to start with you because you are half English, half Ghanaian. So how are you feeling heading into the game tonight?
A little bit optimistic. You never know. For Ghana, but you never know. There's some good players. As Mark said, there's a few good players playing. Yeah. So yeah, I'm optimistic. But obviously England are amazing, so you just never know.
Yeah. I mean, torn is Louise. She doesn't know where to stand. Mark, you've got your England shirt on. Yeah. We've heard, yeah, absolutely. We understand Mark Gay and Jed Spence are coming in. What do you make of those changes Tuchel's made?
I like Jed Spence. He's got a lot of pace, so it'll be difficult for anyone to beat him. I like Gay as well, so I don't know who he's going to be playing alongside, if it's going to be Stones or maybe Konza. But Gay, yeah, he'll be a definite.
And talk to me about, just generally, after that performance against Croatia, how do you feel about England's chances of actually winning the whole thing?
I don't want to sound too optimistic, but I think we've got a very good chance. I like Tuchel as a manager. He's a winner. He's won in the past. And yeah, I've just got a sneaky feeling. I'm an Arsenal fan. It was obviously our year this year. So it's going to be hopefully England's year as well.
Rory, I know you won't like to hear that. Benty, you'll absolutely love it. But the Arsenal fans here, they've got that feeling. The juices are flowing. Thomas Tuchel's got them believing. Could it be coming home? Back to you, boys.
What do you reckon, Darren? Let's now really try and drill into this. Do you think England are going to win tonight?
Yes.
And how far do you think Thomas Tuchel can take this England team?
Well, he can take them all the way. They've certainly got the players to do it. What they're going to have to overcome, I think, this England team is when they've come up against opposition in major tournaments before who they weren't expected to win, they've lost. Like I go back to the France game where I thought they were a better side, the game where Harry Kane missed the penalty, but they were a better side throughout. I thought England lost it at the end. I think until they can do that, even Spain to a degree, even though I thought Spain were better in the final, until England can beat a team that they're not expected to beat, where it's almost 50-50, can they win, then it's always going to be the stumbling block. But there's no reason why Thomas Tuchel, with his experience in terms of winning trophies, can't get this England side, because you've got Declan Rice who's won trophies, Harry Kane has, Jude Bellingham, there's players that have won big trophies in this squad now, so the tools are there.
Also, you know, when we look around, we look at the brilliance of Argentina and we start talking about how good Erling Haaland's looking, they'll be talking about us, won't they?
Of course they will.
They'll be talking about us. How good is Harry Kane looking?
Yeah.
How good is Jude Bellingham looking?
I need to speak to some of these rival fans because, maybe because we live here and you hear it all the time, people going, we're going to win the World Cup. And I'm always like, that's a bit arrogant. But for all I know is because I'm not in these countries, are they saying the same thing in France, Spain, we're going to win the World Cup, as in their country?
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be fascinating. But what I do know is with Thomas Tuchel and this group of players, then go extremely far.
Yeah, we are going to do it tonight. I am convinced England will make it into the last 32 with victory against Ghana tonight. That will obviously be live on talkSPORT. You've been listening to World Cup Game Day live with myself, Rory Jennings and Darren Bent. Next up, Adrian Durham is live from the Boston Stadium as he brings you live commentary of England versus Ghana. Kick-off for that one is live at 9 p.m.
Brr.
She says, if you pardon the expression, where the dad, of course, is completely useless at the birth of a child. That's her view, not mine. And she goes on to say, you're not going to cut an umbilical cord. You cannot miss a World Cup. Where do you stand on this, Troy?
It's the first time I've heard what the lady said.
She's strong.
She's an idiot, is what she is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
I think having a child is obviously the greatest thing that any human can do, in my opinion. And you know, say you're not going to cut the umbilical cord. Well, that's silly because you can do that. But also,